I'm going to be expanding the NHL to 33 teams, introducing the Yukon Icemen. They are finally back. They've made their return, and they're joining in NHL 25, about to become a dynasty. The first thing you got to do is you got to lay out the roadmap for the upcoming 5 to 10 seasons that we're going to do with Utah. The first couple seasons are going to be the planning process, where we gain picks, we gain prospects, and build towards the future. Then we move on over to the process where we start competing for a playoff position. And then finally, we are in the contender phase where it's Stanley Cup or bust pretty much every single season. The Yukon Icemen are ready to go, about to make their mark in the NHL, about to take part in the expansion draft. And in year number 1, we are going to get the luck of the draw and select first overall in the NHL entry draft, not the expansion draft. That is a completely different subject, but right now we got the number 1 overall pick. For anyone who is unfamiliar with the expansion draft, I'm allowed to choose one player from every single franchise, including Seattle, as I did make them available to be picked from. So we are going to be taking a player from there as well, and then that is basically how we're going to build our team to start out. First up is the Anaheim Ducks. We have finally gone ahead and completed the expansion draft through every single franchise. I'll just run through my picks right quickly here. We got Shillington from Anaheim, Joka Harju from Boston, Samuelson, Kevin Ball, Peter Kochekov, Pat Maroon, Druin, JVR, Thomas Harley, Jake Wallman is there. We really went for a younger build, as I know I'm not going to be good for at least the first couple seasons, but a lot of these guys fit the timetable, and a lot of the older guys that are good, like Joseph Wall, who's an 85 overall. We selected Dougie Hamilton from New Jersey. He's most likely going to be dealt before the beginning of the season, so some of these players might not even go ahead and play a single game in a Yukon Icemen jersey, but Cole Perfetti 100% will. The roster is not looking too bad, if I do say so myself. Not to mention that I already picked a ton of good young players, or even good players already from the NHL. We got the first overall pick in a literal fully created draft class, and there is some big guns available. We could go with the left winger Sergei Tarkakuchin. I straight up absolutely butchered that name. We're gonna have to end up going with Sergei Taratukin. I got his name right. Take a look at his stats across the board. They're all A's or A minuses, A plus. He's got offensive creativity, playmaking ability, magic hands, a similar style to Patty Kane, and he is NHL ready year number 1. Welcome to Yukon, as you are our first ever draft pick. 82 overall and elite medium potential. Our year number 1 draft has just been completed. Obviously, we got the first overall pick. We picked up Berger, 36th overall, and a lot of depth pieces that probably aren't really going to turn into anything, but they do have potential. Here is the first trade on my bookie. We got Dougie Hamilton and John Carlson, 2 older players that have a ton of salary cap and just are not going to work out here in Yukon because they're too old. We got Shane Wright and next year's first round pick, and Jaden Schwartz, I believe, from the Seattle Kraken, and they have accepted my offer. I think we absolutely, utterly fleeced them. Another guy that just frankly doesn't fit our timeline is Jake Wallman. He's 28 years of age. He's good, man. 87 overall. I wish we could actually compete with him, but we're going to suck for the first 3 years, so he's got to go. We got him, a 5th round pick for Jake Machuk, and a motto from the Ottawa Senators. They are totally unwilling, so what if we go 1 for 1? Still totally unwilling. They don't want to give up Jake Machuk. I've added in Schwartz and a 2030 second rounder to add to the value. I had to take back a shit ton of salary, though, if I'm being honest. Let's see. Will this trade go through? Still, they are pretty neutral to what you're asking us to cough up. Honestly, it doesn't thrill us at all. I add in another second round pick to the trade, and this should end up going through. No, they're still not too thrilled. Ottawa just does not want to budge. I've moved on to, honestly, a better deal. Zane Parekh and a first from the Florida Panthers from the Calgary Flames for Wallman, a 4th, 2nd, and Jonathan Drouin, and they have rejected my offer. Throw in another second round pick for the trade, and they are still totally unwilling to give up Parekh and the first. I'm going to throw into the trade a late first rounder. By 2030, we should be a very competent team. We got the trade value pretty much as high as we're going to be able to get it. Will they accept? There we go. We will accept your offer. This will contribute to our success here in Calgary. Let's go. We also got to go ahead and dump our older goaltenders. I mean, Kochekov's only 25, but doesn't really fit our timetable either. Philip Gustafson, you're too good to start on our team. So we're giving the San Jose Sharks 2 net minors for a 2026 first overall pick. You know what? Instead, I'm going to ask for Yaroslav Askarov in return. Throw in 2 draft picks to to the trade alongside the 2 netminders, and they do not want to accept that deal. Adding these 2 goaltenders instead to the Chicago Blackhawks for the 25 Toronto Maple Leafs first rounder and Frank Nazar from Chicago, and they've gone ahead and accepted my deal. Finally, the time has come to suit up the first ever Yukon Iceman roster. This is what our forward core looks like. We got Sergei Taratukin, who is our first overall pick at an 82 overall. I'm playing the hell out of this man. Cole Perfetti, Anton Lundell in that first line. We got Neighbors alongside Wright and Burakovsky, Hoglander, Greg, and Kaliev. JVR alongside Trevor Moore and Jaden Schwartz. So definitely we got our old guys playing 4th line minutes. Defensively, we don't even look that bad, to be honest. Harley and Moser, not a bad D-core. Deep pairing, I should say. Zane Parekh alongside Alexander Romanov, and then Samuelson and Kevin Ball. And then in goal, we got Joseph, the Swiss cheese wall, alongside Alexander Forgiev. Yukon will not be naming a captain in its first ever season. Thomas Harley will grab an A, as well as JVR and Jaden Schwartz. The home opener is in Yukon. Inaugural season, inaugural game for the Icemen. And we're going to hop into the third period, watch some hockey in the Igloo. First period, we got a 2-0 lead. Cole Perfetti, and our first overall pick, scores his first ever goal on the power play. After the second period, we are absolutely beating up on Vegas. Taratukin has 2 goals in the hockey game, both being on the power play. Anton Lundell's been great. We are shutting out Vegas right now. Never mind. What am I saying? Never mind. Andrei Burakovsky makes it a 5-0 stomping. And then Alex Pietrangelo breaks Joseph Wall's shutout. We are absolutely beating up on Vegas. I did not expect this at all, although the crowd is probably going crazy in Yukon for this team right now. And here's the first ever action in the Igloo in Yukon, and the Icemen are dominating. A 6-1 hockey game already. We are utterly dominant. I don't think we're going to blow this in the final minute, so we should definitely be able to go ahead and destroy the Vegas Golden Cheaters in Game 1. Parekh over Hoglander, although I do want to get my first overall pick on the ice right now. Potentially get him a hat trick and his first ever hockey game. Nice save there by Swiss Cheese Wall. 35 seconds to go here in the third period. Nice hit there. Lundell the other way. Come on, Taratukin. Get open, brother. I need you to snipe one between the pipes. Lundell entering the zone. He's going behind the net. Anton Lundell. Out there it is, Taratukin. And no, why did he shoot that Harley? Right off the shin pads of our #1 overall pick. He's wearing the number 16. I think we got to give him a better, more fresh number, if I'm being honest. 13.9 seconds to go in the third period in Yukon's first ever hockey game in their franchise's history. It looks like it's going to be a good one as we went out and beat up on the team that literally everybody hates, as the Yukon Icemen will go ahead and win their first ever game in the NHL, 6-1 over Vegas. Well, unfortunately, Yukon is 7-2 to start their first ever season. I want it to be bad so badly, man, and we're just playing up to standard, or way too above standard, if I'm being honest. So Wall, he has to go. Him and a 5th round pick for Askarov and Romanov. And there we go. The San Jose Sharks have accepted my offer. So I had to go through, rearrange our lineup, and now we got the best goaltenders of all time. Romanov at a 76 overall, and then Glylander at a 61. We should not be able to win hockey games now. I gotta be honest, I am absolutely bamboozled at how this team is 11-3-2. I don't even think we're that good overall, but we're just simulating so insanely well. Gotta be honest, somehow, some way, the Yukon Icemen, I didn't think they'd be here, but 41 wins, 33 losses, 8 in overtime for 90 points. Third in the Pacific Division. We got the Oilers in round #1. We're probably going to get swept, but that is a damn successful season. For the entire league, Colorado damn near won 60 games. Florida was up there. Toronto was in the top 3. Edmonton was top 7. Where were we at? Were we the worst team to make the playoffs? Yes, we were. 16th in the entire NHL with 90 points. Somehow made it in. Definitely would not have expected Shane Wright to go off with 33 goals and 72 points. We got Lundell with 66. Perfetti had 62. Zane Parekh was very good. Taratukin, I mean, the dude's not much of a goal scorer. Only 19 goals, 49 points. He was a -14. He's only going to get better from here. He's only an 82 overall, 19 years of age. And between the pipes, I mean, we had 2 absolute shit goaltenders and somehow still made the playoffs. Braden Point is going to go absolutely off in the simulation, leading in goals with 63. Also had the most points, so that is a Hart Trophy season by the 29-year-old. Goaltending-wise, Mackenzie Blackwood had a 50-win goalie season alongside 7 shutouts. He didn't lead the way there, as Anthony Stolarz had 8, but Mackenzie Blackwood probably is going to end up winning the Vezina Trophy. He had a 921, 7 shutouts, and 50 wins is absolutely absolutely incredible. And now in year number 1, somehow, some way, we made the playoffs. We got Edmonton in round number 1. If we win at least one game, then I can consider that a success. All right, here we go in game number 1. UConn first period, and we're down by 3. Things are not looking too great. Second period, we're getting destroyed, and we are going to drop the first one 6-1. We now move on to game number 2. I honestly expect this to be a very quick series, although we got a 2-2 tie entering the third period between the Iceman and the Oilers. They're out shooting us. Never mind. Arthur Kaliev on Stuart Skinner giving us the lead. UConn could steal the second game here in Edmonton on the power play. 5 minutes to go. I don't know how our goaltenders are shutting the door, but we don't even need them to as we tie the series up at 1. We already won one game, so that is a success for the first round of the postseason, as we're going to lose our first ever home playoff game. Very tight game, 2-1 to Edmonton as they take a 2-1 series lead. Very pivotal game number 4. It's the difference between a 3-1 series lead or a 2-2 series tie. Entering the third period, we have not scored, but we will have overtime. No whiteout in UConn just yet. Don't worry, that will be fixed in the offseason, but we have overtime here in game number 4. We could potentially tie this series up at 2 against one of, if not the best team in the entire league. Oh no, Hyman trying to go backdoor to McDavid. McDavid doesn't even have a goddamn helmet on. I don't know how he got past safety precautions there, but somehow, some way, they allowed him to play the entire game in 2025. Uh-oh, here he comes. McDavid dumps it in deep. Get back there, Thomas Harley. We're going to go all out here. Do we tank in the playoffs? No, there's no tanking in the playoffs. What am I saying right now? Cole Perfetti the other way. In the middle, Perek trying to score the overtime winner here in UConn. The Igloo is ready to explode. The best atmosphere in the entire NHL. Thomas Harley, he's going to turn it over. Lundell moves it up to Cole Perfetti. Here comes Perfetti the other way over to our first overall draft pick, trying to get a shot, but he got laid out. I mean, he is 5'8". It's going to be a very tough time for him in the postseason. Victor Arvidsson the other way for Edmonton. RV coming in, shot, nice block. Nugent Hopkins and Romanoff surprisingly made that save. AJ Moser the other way. Here we go. Jake Neighbors up to Hoglander. Niels Hoglander trying to grab the zone. We're not getting a lot of offense right now. Never mind. Neighbors spinning back to right. Shot. Nice save by Skinner. I'm only going to be hopping into the first overtime frame here, as this is going to be a very, very long series, so we don't need to focus too much on the early portions here. I don't expect us to win a Stanley Cup, but you know what? I'm going to cheer for my team. The UConn Icemen are my franchise. Evander Kane shot. Nice block there by number 90. I think that was J.J. Moser. Back to the blue line. Darnell. He's going to shoot it, but he can't get it anywhere. Moves up to Jake Neighbors. The other way, Neighbors. Entering the zone. He's got no options. Trying to feed it to the middle, but nobody is going to be there. 8:15 left to go here in OT. Adam Henrique the other way. Henrique shot. We're really good at blocking shots and not making our goaltenders make a save. 7:36 left to go. Edmonton's going to win that draw. Skinner walking out. Jeff Skinner. There's a rebound, and there it is. Jeff Skinner, the OT hero, as Edmonton heads back to Berta with a 3-1 series lead. Backs against the wall back in Edmonton. Can we force a game number 6? First period, up by 2 goals. Burakovsky and J.J. Moser. Second period, a 4-3 advantage, and we are going to bring this series back to UConn. A 3-1 comeback in our first ever season would not be too shabby. First period, 1-0 lead. J.J. Moser again. Second period, 3-0 lead. And we will force a Game 7 with the Edmonton Oilers. Here we go. Our first ever Game 7 in franchise history. First period, 2-1 lead. Niels Hoglander and JVR. Second period, oh my god, we have the lead again. How is our goaltending playing so well? We have shit goalies. There we go. McDavid, you should be running away with this right now. Outcome that we end up winning this hockey game. Shane Wright on the power play gives us the lead with 8 minutes to spare here in Game 7. 5 minutes to go. Can our goaltenders shut the door? And are the UConn Icemen, they came back down 3-1, and we are moving on to round number 2. We now move on to the second round to play the Vancouver Canucks. So probably not as tough of a team as Edmonton. So who knows? UConn could be going to the conference finals in year number 1. We are going to see what can happen here in the second round as we lose game 1 6-1. We got absolutely stomped. Second game, we lose that one in overtime. That is a close one. Come on, UConn. We got to at least get one. We are down 0-3 as it looks like the Cinderella magic has kind of run out. All right, elimination game, down 3-1 yet again for back-to-back series. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Zane Perek. Second period, a 2-1 lead for Vancouver. Besser and Jake DeBrusk. All right, we're only down by 1. We've only mustered 16 shots on goal so far, so not having a fun time offensively. But Trevor Moore will tie things up at 2. Thank you very much, brother. 8 minutes to spare here in the third period of game number 5. Can we force a game 6? Back-to-back 3-1 comebacks would not be too shabby. No! Brock Besser late in the third period, and that is going to do it. The UConn Icemen year number 1 season has just concluded. Not that shocked, in all honesty, to see Dallas go all the way, beat the defending champs in Florida in a Game 7 scenario. So finally the Stars get that cup that they've been really looking for. A clean sweep for Braden Point on all the major individual awards. We got Cale Makar winning the Norris. Mikko Rantanen is the Conn Smythe winner. Mackenzie Blackwood's going to win the Vezina, and Ryan O'Reilly the Selke. At first glance, this does look like a little bit of an overpay, but I promise you it will not be that. The first overall pick is by the LA Kings. I'm going after it. We got our 9th, 18th, 51st, and 84th overall, and they're still not willing to do so. Might have to add in another first rounder into the trade to make sure this goes through, and there we go. Overpay, yes, but overpay, no. There was one reason, and one reason only, that this was not an overpay, and it was none other than P. Shorzy. Power forward, franchise high, first overall pick. He's 18 years old, and he is the future captain of the UConn Icemen. 92 overall with franchise high potential. Other first rounder, I think we got to go with the goaltender, Joshua Ravensbergen. A hybrid goalie, starter potential. He's got Jimmy Howard as a similar style, and he's NHL ready in 2 years. So bang, there we go. We did go ahead and re-sign Alexander Romanov in free agency, not free agency, the re-sign phase. UConn now is going to be heading into year number 2 as a franchise, and honestly, they got an amazing stud of a player. P. Shorzy, 92 overall, loaded to the gills with X factors. This is what his attributes look like. He's already one of the best players in the league. He's going to play alongside Cole Perfetti and Tara Tukkanen, who's up to an 84, only grew 1 overall after a decent rookie season. We got Hoglander alongside Wright and Lundell, neighbors with Greg and Moore. And then our fourth line consists of Nazar Burakovsky and Jaden Schwartz, I should say. Harley and Parekh yet again. Our decor is virtually identical, and it actually helped us out last year, so we'll see what is in store for year number 2. And Yaroslav Askarov has made the jump to an 86 overall netminder. I would like to get Thomas Harley signed before the beginning of the season. I don't want to go to RFA signings in the offseason and have to try to somehow manage and scramble to get this guy back. He's 24 years old, 89 overall. It says he wants a contract extension also. He's only making $4 million, so he's going to want to raise outside of that. I did offer him one. Now we just got to wait and see if he accepts. Thomas Harley, unfortunately, does not want to accept the offer. He rejected it. The salary you have offered is too low for me, so we're going to have to up the pay a little bit. And there we go. We went ahead, locked up Thomas Harley. $9.6 million for only 4 years, but you know what? It's worth it. There's no clauses in the contract, so if we have to move him, we can do so. Back-to-back seasons where UConn was trying to tank, and we got second place in our division. 46 wins, 31 losses, 5 in overtime for 97 points. So we were even better this season than last. Vegas was the best team in our division, winning 47 games. If we take a look at the entire league, we had the Dallas Stars winning 57. The UConn Icemen, though, they'd be a little bit down. 10th overall, top 10 in our second season in the league is not too shabby. We've yet to miss the playoffs as well. So we are in a very, very good spot with an extremely young core of players. Shorzy, as a rookie, might put up the most impressive rookie season of all time. 60 goals as a rook, 104 points. We got Anton Lundell at 68. Zane Parekh, that's back-to-back years, putting up a boatload of points. Artukin, again, he's not really much of a goal scorer. He had 51 apples for 62 points. Cole Perfetti was decent. Thomas Harley, we got him locked up long-term. Another 50-point season by him. Yaroslav Askarov with 38 wins, a 914, which is not too bad at all. So he basically not carried us, but he helped for sure get us to the postseason after a very rough start. The Moose, Mikko Rantanen, is going to have the most points in the NHL at 118. He also had the most goals at 63. So Shorzy, as a rookie, was this close to winning the Maurice Richard. I have a feeling this man is going to be a UConn legend. Goaltending-wise, Jake Ottinger is going to lead the way in wins. He had 44, and for shutouts, that will go to Shesterkin and Montembeault, both having 7 apiece. As we are going to play Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and the Edmonton Oilers in round number 1. Here we go. Game number 1. We have home ice advantage for the first time ever. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Cole Perfetti. We got a 1-goal lead entering the third against Edmonton. Obviously, McDavid and Dry are going to be very, very tough to beat, but Ridley Gregg gives us that insurance marker. We were the better team in the regular season for a reason. And there we go. UConn will take game number 1, 6-2. Game number 2, still in UConn. We can take a stranglehold on this series, but the Oilers, they're never out of a hockey game. A 3-0 lead after 1, 4-3 entering the third period. Brett Kulak is scoring goals, and then Matt Savoy, the young lad himself, will tie this game up at 4. Come on, Askarov. Shut the door in this third period. Shots are pretty even, 35-34. Edmonton trying to split the first 2 games in UConn, but that home ice advantage is a real thing. Here we go in overtime in game number 2. We are locked in, potentially taking a stranglehold on this series. We got to protect home ice, man. You are not in trouble until you lose at home, and right now we get a 1-0 series lead. Matthias Ekholm leading that rush for Edmonton. Harley, Parekh, what are we doing in our own end right now? The whiteout is not here in UConn. It will be, but right now, the fans don't know what playoff hockey is here. This is the first time ever having a professional sports team. They got to get used to it. Thomas Harley the other way. Harley leading the rush. He's going to wind one up. Skinner's going to make the save. Ekholm gets the rebound. And here come the Oilers the other way. Zach Hyman over to McDavid. Connor McDavid coming into the zone. Shot. Nice save there by Askarov. I customized his pads. Why are they not working? Perfetti loses it at the blue line. Over to Parekh. Had a very good season. Back-to-back years, honestly, Parekh. As a rookie, he had like 50 points, and he had 60 this year, I believe. Arvidsson walking in. Another save again by Askarov. As we've kind of been on our heels here early on in overtime. Lundell over to Romanov. Here we go. Shane Wright. Sugar Shane Wright just loses the puck. He regains it, though. J.J. Moser walking in. Easy save by Stu. He's going to play it. 10 minutes to go here in game number 2 in overtime. Evander Kane puts it back to the point. That's our puck. Go, Hoglander. You got to turn on the Jets, buddy. What are you waiting for? Chinese New Year? Come on. Darnell Nurse. The other way over to Arvey. Moves it up to Nuggy. Nugent Hopkins into the zone. Can't get a shot on net. UConn doing a very good job defending. Romanov up to Lundell. Lundell. What? Man, if we're going to have this back and forth. Here we go. Simonson walking down Main Street, and he cannot bear it. Are you kidding me? Over Lundell. Nice block there by Corey Perry. Shane Wright back to Lundell. D to D. Kevin Ball unleashes a goddamn bomb, but it didn't even hit the net. McDavid wins that draw. Hoosh bomb doesn't get through. That is nice blocking there by Shorzy. Bouchard keeps it in, though. Shot. It's going to go a little bit wide. We only got 2 minutes to go here in overtime. I'm praying for a victory, or I am the hell out of here, dude. I have no idea how we... Oh, my God. Leon on the break. Over. Hyman can't bury it behind the net. Back out to Dry. Doesn't get a shot on net. He's going to absolutely destroy whoever that was. P. Shorzy. He's going to take a heart attack. He's not used to playing this amount of minutes. Samuelson the other way, poked off of his stick. We got 50 seconds to go. McDavid all alone coming in on the breakaway. Nice defending. Thomas Harley shuts him down. Nice save, Askarov. Dear God, Edmonton's been all over us this period. All over us. Gavrikov walking out. Janmark, and there it is. Matthias Janmark will tie the series up at 1. All right, game number 3. The series has made the switch to Edmonton, and the Oilers, they are going to get it to overtime, going to double overtime, but thank to P. Shorzy, a power play marker on Stuart Skinner, 41 shots on goal, and we take a 2-1 series lead. Stranglehold is up for grabs here in game number 4. 3-2 lead after 1. Second period, it is all knotted up, and for the third, the Oilers dominate. 3 unanswered goals, one of them being a short-handed one, and they are going to tie it up yet again. Series all knotted up at 2 apiece, heading to a pivotal game 5 where the UConn Icemen holding on to a 1-goal lead, a 1-0 lead. Never mind, Adam Henrique is going to tie it up. The shots are low, the score is low, and both of these teams in UConn. No, Leon Draisaitl on Yaroslav Askarov, and then Matthias Janmark yet again makes it a 2-goal lead as the Oilers head back to Berta with a chance to eliminate the Icemen. Elimination time, UConn. What can we do? First period, 1-1 tie. Second period, down by 1 entering the third. Who were our goal scorers? We had Hoglander and Perfetti. P. Shorzy, as a rookie right now, low-key kind of struggling in the postseason. It's going to take him time to develop. We're still the youngest team in the league, but Sugar Shane Wright ties the game up, but Evan Bouchard answers back immediately. The Oilers again have the lead with less than 4 minutes remaining in the third period. as Edmonton will eliminate UConn in 6 games in the very first round. The Tampa Bay Lightning will go on and defeat the Oilers in 6 games in the Cup final. So you never know. If we get by Edmonton, we might go on a Cinderella run all the way to the Stanley Cup finals. Cole Perfetti actually was pretty good in the first round. 3 goals, 7 points in 6 games. Hoglander has 6. Ridley Gregg 6. So a lot of our depth pieces were stepping up. P. Shorzy, I mean, he's a -4. He had 31 penalty minutes in 6 games with 3 goals. It is going to be a big learning curve for him to play in the postseason. And Yaroslav Askarov, he wasn't that great either. The Moose was loose, winning the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, Art Ross. The Hart Trophy would go to Sam Reinhart. Cale Makar is going to end up winning the Norris. We got the Conn Smythe going to Braden Point. Spencer Knight's going to win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Sid the Kid. Well, UConn is not going to have a top 15 draft pick, obviously, because we did make the postseason. Calgary is number 1, so take a look out for UConn potentially going after first overall yet again. We are yet again back at the NHL draft, and right now I'm going after 2nd overall. The Detroit Red Wings hold on to it right now. We got our first from this year, a 2031 first, and Yaroslav Askarov to the Detroit Red Wings, and they have rejected my offer, so I'm going to have to sweeten that deal. Throw in a 2nd, 4th, and a 5th, basically giving up all our assets for this NHL draft, throw it into the trade, and they still do not want to go after that. Oh my lord. This is pretty much going to be my last offer. A 1st, Askarov, another 1st, 2nd, and Cole Perfetti, and they still do not want to budge on this draft pick. Little bit of an overpay, yes, but we got 3 first rounders in there with a 2nd and Cole Perfetti to the Detroit Red Wings, and there we go. A little bit of an overpay. We got it to go through, and now we are going to select 2nd overall. And we are going to take the generational goaltender that is Lepeka Pasta. 6'7", A+ across the board. Similar style to Roberto Luongo, and he's NHL ready. Welcome to UConn. We got our goalie for the future. A 94 overall franchise high netminder. We got Moser locked up long-term for 5 years at $5.5 million, so that is a good piece. He's young. He's only like 25 years old, already an 84 overall himself. We went out in the offseason. We grabbed our head coach of the future. He signed for 8 years, a massive contract. Welcome to the team, John Cooper. We got our assistant coach as well. He's going to join our roster. This is what your year number 3 UConn Icemen are currently looking like. Shorzy alongside Martin Necas, who he signed for a bag in the offseason, $15 million, but no clause in the contract, which means we can move him whenever we want. So trade deadline, maybe the NHL draft if I want to get another 1st overall pick, but he's going to serve us very well in that first line alongside our 2 former number 1 overall picks. Ridley Gregg will play alongside Wright and Lundell. We got Hoglander, Lowry, and Neighbors. Burakovsky alongside Newhook and Trevor Moore. Defensively, Zane Parekh is an absolute stud, and him and Harley, they have developed nicely together, 89 and 88 overall apiece. We got Kevin Ball alongside Moser, and then Samuelson and Alexander Romanov, and in between the pipes, Lepeka Pasta at a 94, so most likely Askarov is gone. Finally, we get a convo on the go with John Cooper. Hello, GM Pasta. Together, we have a great opportunity to lead this team to greatness. Yes, we do. Season goal. What are you thinking? Look at the roster. This team is good enough to compete for a Stanley Cup. That is my goal. You know what? 2000 coach influence XP. Bang. There we go. We are going to go ahead and compete for a cup. For the first time in UConn Iceman history, I think we are ready to name a captain. Thomas Harley, you can grab an A. Up on the forward core here, Marty Necas, he's got to get an A as well. And then the young man in his 2nd season in the league, P. Shorzy, you are the first ever captain of the UConn Icemen. At the end of the year, yet again, UConn making the postseason every single year in existence. 47, 25, and 10, 104 points, 2nd in our division. Edmonton, oh my God, we're going to have to run into them in the 2nd round potentially. A 61 juggernaut team. They're going to win the President's Trophy. They look poised for a Stanley Cup. I mean, they've lost like 2 cup finals in a row already. We got Toronto up there. Florida was good. And the UConn Icemen, year after year after year, they just keep on improving. 6th in the entire league. Back-to-back excellent seasons from Shorzy, 55 goals, 107 points. He's going to be our offensive engine basically the entirety of this sim. Zane Parekh has been so damn impressive, dude. 76 points as a defenseman. maybe we don't even need Landon Dupont coming up in this draft class. We basically got our own here in Zane Parekh. Shane Wright has 71 points. Martin Necas 71. I'm paying $15 million for 14 goddamn goals. Not looking too great, Marty, for the offseason, buddy. You might be shipped out of town. Anton Lundell was very good with 25 goals. Harley, again, another 50-point season as a D-man, and Pekka Past as a rookie. 4 shutouts, a .912 save percentage, and a record of 38, 17, and 10. Leon Draisaitl is going to lead the way in the NHL in scoring, 121 points. On the goal side, Tomiak Matthews would end up with 61. Stuart Foreskin Skinner is going to have the most wins at 47, and the most shutouts will go to LT Logan Thompson with 7. Luckily, we can face the LA Kings in round number 1, but that Edmonton Oilers team, man, if we make it to the second round, it is going to be damn near impossible to beat them. They won 61 games for a reason. Here we go. Game number 1. We got home ice advantage yet again. It's not going our way. Only down by 1, and LA is going to come into our building and steal it 3-2. This is a must-win hockey game for the Yukon Icemen. First period, no score. Second period, a 2-1 deficit yet again. Our goal scoring is nowhere to be found somehow, as the LA Kings' defensive style of hockey. There we go. Samuelson will score on Frederick Anderson, who plays for the Kings. Isn't Freddie Anderson like 38, 39 at this point? There we go. Romanov. Our defensemen have to take matters into their own hands, but Mikey Anderson ties the game up at 3. 5 minutes to go here in the third period. Shots are 38-31. We might have overtime on our hands in game number 2. A must-win for the Yukon Icemen. Come on, Yukon. A power play. No power play goal. Another power play. Come on, Yukon. Somebody bury it. Yes! P. Shorzy overtime winner. Back-to-back first-round exits we do not want to turn into the Toronto Maple Leafs. First period, 1-1 tie. Byfield and Tara Tukkanen, my bad. Second period, we are up by 1. Shorzy and Jake Neighbors. All right, Yukon starting to explode their load right now. They got the lead in the third period. Pekka Pass is only a rookie, so I'm not going to expect him to close out this game, but eventually in the future, I want him to gain this experience so he can do so when we actually are a Stanley Cup contender. Yukon still holding on. Never mind. Anze Kopitar ties the game up at 2, and for back-to-back games, we are going to have overtime on our hands. The first overtime underway, and Yukon Alexander Newhook will send them home, and we take a 2-1 series lead. All right, game number 4 in LA. First period, 2-0 lead. Shane Wright and P. Shorzy. Second period, no, the LA Kings respond. Laferriere, Fiala, and Laferriere again. God damn it, the Kings trying to tie the series up. If we go up 3-1, this series is over, baby. There we go. Jake Neighbors on Freddie Anderson to tie the game up at 3. Shots are 30-21, and yes, Shane Wright will take the lead, and we have overtime yet again. Come on, Yukon. The third game in a row. It doesn't go our way 3 times in a row. There's no way. I refuse to believe it. The LA Kings are scoring here in overtime. EA's not going to give me 3 straight overtime winners. A barn burner here in LA. Power play for the Kings. We kill it off. We have 41 shots on goal. Yes! Kevin Ball on Frederick Anderson, and we go up 3-1. Elimination game for the LA Kings back at home in Yukon, the toughest building to play in. First period, we got a 1-1 tie. Thank you, P. Shorzy. Second period, still deadlock at 1. Outshooting them 29. Never mind. There we go. Kevin Fiala. The shot count doesn't matter if we're down in the game. 15 minutes to go. Come on, Yukon. We can respond here. We do not want to go back to LA and potentially risk a Game 7 coming back in Yukon. Finish the deal tonight. 7 minutes to go. It looks like there's no comeback imminent, as the LA Kings are going to force a game number 6. All right, we got to go into their barn and potentially eliminate them. First period, we're down 2-1. P. Shorzy scoring. We need some extra support around him. Second period, we're still down by 1, despite the fact that Shorzy's got another goal and Ridley Gregg. Oh my nerves. There we go. Adam Lowry. I don't want to go to 7. My nerves will be shot. Martin Necas finally $15 million, and he gets one on the power play. It is a 5-4 hockey game in red. No, Alex Turcotte, Pekka Pasta. You got to shut the door, laddie. 7 minutes to go. And then Kevin Fiala with 3:30 left to play will send this series to 7. The best 2 words in all of sports. Game 7 on home ice in Yukon. First period, a 2-0 lead. Necas and Hoglander. I messed up the lineup a little bit just to get some new color combos going, and we strike first. Second period, a 3-2 lead. All right, LA's right back into this game. Shorzy scoring the power play. Oh no, LA's going to score. They're going to tie this game up. I have no confidence right now in my rookie goaltender. goaltender, and why should I? Warren Fogle, yes. Shane Wright, thank the good Lord. He gives UConn the lead halfway through this third period. There's so much time left remaining, dude. There's so much time. 5 minutes. Yes, Anton Lundell extends the lead to 2 late in the third period. We will not blow a 3-1 lead, and the Icemen, they are off to the second round. So, like I predicted, we were going to have to play Edmonton in round 2. They're the best team in the league. They won 61 games. We are the underdogs coming in, so channel that energy, channel the doubt that the NHL universe has in store for UConn, and let's go out there and beat them Oilers. Game number 1 in Edmonton. Damn, we're down 3 goals in the first period, 4-2 after the second, and Edmonton, they're going to dominate game number 1. It was not accident that this team won 61 games. First period, we got a tie score after the first period. Second period, we're up by 1. Tara Tukkonen. Or Tara Tukin. I keep butchering that guy's name. I apologize. Halfway through this third period, yes, Thomas Harley responds on Stuart Skinner. The UConn Icemen, they are going to take game number 2, 5-2. All right, the series now made the switch to UConn. We split the first 2. If we can take care of business at home, oh my God, never mind. Edmonton will dominate us 5-1 in game 3. Game 4 definitely is going to be a swing game. First period, we take the lead. Anton Lundell. Second period, we got a 1-goal advantage. Anton Lundell low-key carrying us here in game 4. Let's try to tie this series up. We are 2-0 so far in our franchise's history in game 7s. And Tara Tukin will score on the power play to extend the lead. And there we go. We got ourselves a series. Game 5 back in Berta. Here we go. 2-1 lead for the Oilers. They definitely were going to respond. Oh, they signed Mason Marchment in the offseason. He's like a 90 overall somehow. Second period, we're down by 1 yet again. But we tie the game up. Zane Parekh, who has been massive for us the entirety of this sim so far. Zach Hyman's going to take the lead for Edmonton. We respond right away. Niels Hoglander, 2 teams that have absolute no quit in them right now. Halfway through this third, it is a barn burner yet again. A 5-5 tie. The goaltenders have not been performing as we might head to OT once again. All right, overtime it is. 15 minutes to go. Come on, UConn. We are undefeated in overtimes here. No, I said it. I shouldn't have said it. Me and my goddamn mouth. Leon Draisaitl. All right, game 7. Home ice. Take care of business. Do not lose on your home goddamn ice surface. First period, 2-1 lead. Lundell. Man, Anton Lundell has 4 goals in his last 2 games. Second period, a 3-1 lead, and the UConn Icemen have forced a Game 7 with the best team in the NHL. Here we go. Game 7 yet again. I did not change a thing. First period, 1-1 tie. Ridley Gregg and Gavrikov. Second period, we are up by 1. Shorzy, 2 goals in the second. And Pekka Pasta, this is your time to shine. JJ Moser on Stuart Foreskin Skinner. And then Niels Hoglander will seal the deal, barring an absolute collapse right now. 6-3. Thank you, Adam Lowry. And the UConn Icemen continue to be undefeated in Game 7s on 8-3 victory. Are you serious right now? And now this has been our furthest playoff run of our entire existence. The Final 4, we got Colorado, and then in the Eastern Conference, Toronto or the Rangers. Game 1 in Colorado. We do not have home ice advantage. Down 2-1 after the first, still 2-1 after the second, and the Avs are going to win it 4-1. All right, come on, UConn. If we can split the first 2, that would be absolutely beautiful, but we absolutely got dominated, and now headed back to UConn. We're down 2-0 to the Avalanche. Here we go. Back on home ice in UConn. First period, no score. The Avalanche have only lost 1 game in the postseason so far. Greg and Hoglander in the second period will make it a 2-0 lead. We go to the power play. An insurance marker, please. I don't feel safe with a 2-goal lead. Pekka Pass as a rook has not been playing well. Power play for Colorado. They don't get anything on it. 7 hard miles here, UConn. Can we hold on? And there we go. A Pekka Pasta shutout in game number 3. All right, come on, UConn. Protect home ice. First period, we're down 2-1. We got McKinnon and Cam Atkinson in the big 2027 scoring right now. Jake Neighbors gets 1. We're still down by 1 entering the third, though. Power play for UConn. Come on. Oh, my God. Our power play's been horrible. I can't remember the last time we scored on it. About halfway through this third, Colorado trying to take a dominating 3-1 series lead. Come on. Yes, Niels Hoglander on Mackenzie freaking Blackwood. Beautiful. 4 minutes to go. Can we somehow, some way force an overtime? Here we go in UConn. No whiteout because EA literally removed the feature to customize your jerseys in the offseason. I don't know what the hell was going on there, where they were thinking there. But anyways, we got a potential game-tying goal, or series-tying goal, I should say, from UConn. Lindell over Martin Natchez. Come on, buddy. You got to bury that puck, Natchez. Back to the point. Perek shot. Blackwood with the save. All right, Martin Natchez on the draw. He wins it. Back to the point. Perek. Nice block there from Colorado. Hookers and blows. Going to get it out. Up to Landy. Captain Landy coming into the zone. Nice save by Pekka. Beautiful save by our franchise goaltender. He's kind of tweaking out right now. What's going on? Pekka Pasta. Delayed penalty. We are about to head to the power play. Lundell loses it, but is PP time here in UConn. 16-17 left to go. We win the draw. Shane right back. Harley. Shorzy. Yes, that's the guy I want shooting, dude. Shorzy again. Waiting. Firing. P. Shorzy will tie the series up at 2 with his first ever overtime winner in this series. All right, game 5 now in Colorado. This is a big game again. We take the lead. Zane Perek gets a goal, gets us on the board. Second period, a 3-1 advantage for UConn as we head back on home ice. A potential cup final berth is on the horizon. All we need is one win. Game 6, home ice in UConn. First period, a 1-1 tie. Martin Natchez and a Tori Lehkonen. I'll take that. Second period, oh, man, this is a close-ass game. 15 shots on net is not going to do it, UConn. We got to start firing more on Mackenzie Blackwood. P. Shorzy, where are you at? This is a legacy game. Yes! Tara Tukkonen again! Back-to-back goals. He makes it a 3-1 lead in the third period. Hold up. Gabriel Landeskog will score on the power play. It's back to a 1-goal game. Oh, my God. 4 minutes to go. 1 minute and 14 seconds. That is the time that we are currently away from potentially going to the Cup Finals in year number 3. Defend lead. Sit the hell back and trap it up. Come on, UConn. We got 55 seconds to go. We can kill it. Samuelson moves up to Perek. Zane Perek at a 2-on-1. Perek coming in. Shot. Rebound. Oh, my. Put it out of reach. Put it out of goddamn reach. All right. Here comes Devon Taves the other way. 40 seconds to go. Colorado has emptied their net. Wood to Taves. Doesn't get a shot off. Get it out. Adam Lowry. Come on, Lowry. You were a captain of a Canadian team already. Get the puck out. No, Wood. Right. Getting bodied. 30 seconds to go in game 6. Everybody is on their feet in UConn. A cup final berth on the horizon. Nathan McKinnon the other way. McKinnon stopping up. No. Nichushkin. What a save by Pekka Pasta. Again, he shuts the goddamn door. The rookie generational talent, Pekka Pasta. He's only 18, 19 years of age now in a game 6 with a potential cup final berth on the line. Nichushkin, he gets a beautiful look at it and he gets denied by Pekka. What a save. And then he responds right afterwards, making another great save. The job is not finished though. They got an offensive zone draw right now. Nylander actually somehow leading the playoffs in scoring right now. 18 seconds to go. Come on, UConn. You know what to do. Oh, no, we lost it. We lost the draw. Get it out. Nichushkin, where's it going? Over to Landy. Back to Josh Manson. He's blasting one, but he's getting denied as Pekka flashes the leather. 11 seconds. Oh, no. Pekka has no energy. We got to win this draw. Oh, no. Full pressure. Don't let them shoot. Do not let them shoot. Please, 7 seconds to go. Gerard to McKinnon. Can't get it out. 3 seconds. And the UConn Icemen have advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals in year number 3. 3 straight years of making the postseason, and third time is the charm as we are now going to play for Lord Stanley's Cup. And here it is, our first ever Cup final berth. It's up against the New York Rangers. Best of 7. Can we go on for the first time in franchise history and win the Stanley Cup? Here we go. Game 1 of the Cup Finals. First period. Oh my God, man. We're so bad early on in the series. Have we ever won a game number 1? We just got stomped 6-2. Game number 2, we have to respond. There we go. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Ridley Gregg. Second period, we got a 2-2 tie, so it is close so far. UConn and the Rangers. Yes, Adam Lowry, good old Canadian boy. I think he's Canadian, giving us the lead here in the finals. But Adam Fox is going to tie that up at 3. 12 hard miles to go. Come on, UConn. We didn't make it this far just to lose, man. Please, 7 minutes to go. I don't want to fall down 2-0. Somebody, is there a hero? No, Sam Carrick. Are we serious? Sam goddamn Carrick gets the game-winning goal. This is a must-win hockey game for the UConn Icemen. First period, 2-0 lead. Trevor Moore and Tara Tukkonen. Second period, 3-1 lead. and we get it done 6-2. We get our first win in the Stanley Cup Finals. All right, can we tie the series up at 2? 3-0 lead after the first period. Newhook, Shorzy, and Parekh. Second period. Oh my God, how? How do we end up going to the third, all knotted up at 4? Yes, sir, Anton Lundell giving us the lead yet again, but they tie it up. Pekka Passa's goaltending has not been a masterclass here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. He is a rookie. I got to give him a break. But 10 minutes to go here in the Cup Finals. I need him to grow the hell up. I need him to show up for this team, but I need a goal. 4 minutes, 3 minutes. It's not looking too great. Here we go. Game 4 overtime in Yukon. I mean, this is a swing game indeed. It's either a 3-1 series deficit or a 2-2 series tie. What can the Yukon Icemen do? They've been a Cinderella team basically since they entered the NHL. They planned to tank, and they've made the postseason every single year. Right, into the zone. Shot! Oh my! Sugar Shane Wright will tie the series up at 2, baby! Game number 5, back in MSG. First period, down by 2. I knew New York was going to respond. Second period, we're still down by 2, regardless of the fact that we're out shooting them 30-14 right now. Can we not bury one? I guess Igor did give up a very weak goal in overtime, so I expected a strong effort. They definitely responded. And right now, the Icemen, we get one piece. Shorzy's on the board. 7 minutes to go. Can we tie the game up? Come on, Yukon. Somebody tie it up for us overtime. And it is a Igor Shesterkin masterclass in game number 5. They win it 2-1 despite getting outshot 45-18. Season on the line. Cup in the building. In Yukon, can we force 7? First period, 2-0 lead. Greg and Trevor Moore. Second period, it is a 3-1 affair. Come on, Yukon. Just hold on. 4-1 lead. Martin Necas. He's going to give it to us. A 1-goal game, winner take all. Game 7, Stanley Cup Finals. Does it get any better than that? Game 7, Stanley Cup Finals. First period, a 2-2 tie. We got Lundell scoring a pair. Second period, still a tie game. I don't like the feel of this at all, man. I really do not like. Here we go. Power play, please. Yes! Same Parekh on the fucking power play. And then Samuelson responds afterwards. 13 minutes to go. P. Shorzy makes it a 3-goal lead. Are you serious? How? Where is the offense coming from? I don't want to get ahead of myself, but a 6-2 hockey game with 44 seconds to go. There's no way we blow this, right? The Stanley Cup is in our grasp, man. In MSG, the most famous arena ever, and the Yukon Icemen, year number 3 Cup champions. It has a good ring to it. Hoglander, just get into the zone and fire it. Just kill the clock, whatever it's going to take. Full attack, I don't care. Jamar dumps it in deep. The New York Rangers had a 2-0 series lead in the Cup Finals. They could have went up 3-0. They could have went up 3-1. But the no-quit, die-hard attitude of the Yukon Icemen, they pushed back. They fought. They beat the 61 team, Edmonton Oilers, best team in the NHL. Somehow we got that done also. And now in the Cup Finals, Jones, get the hell out of here, dude. What are you doing? 3 seconds to go. The Yukon Icemen in year number 3 are your Stanley Cup champions. We get it done. GM Pasta absolutely cooked. In a year where I thought about going after the first overall pick, I'm going to go all the way and win the Stanley Cup. This franchise already has cemented themselves as one of, if not the best organization in the entire league, and we are set up for the future. We could still go after Landon Dupont in the NHL draft. We have the assets to do so. Martin Necas severely overpaid. Thomas Harley, he's going to win the Conn Smythe with only 1 goal, but 27 points. He played amazing D. I locked him up long-term before the season began. And you know what? It worked out for me. It really, really did. And in Madison Square Garden, the Yukon Icemen, they're in the most famous arena possible. They're going to lift their franchise's first ever cup. But we're not done at 1. We're creating a dynasty in Yukon. This is only the beginning. Captain Shorzy, first year as a captain of Yukon. He gets it done. Undefeated in a playoff series. And your Icemen are now Stanley Cup champions. Yukon! You have a hockey team, and they are goddamn good. I have to do it. P. Shorzy hands it off to Pekka Pasta, man. He was a rookie. He wasn't very good. He came up clutch when it mattered the most, and he's going to win the Stanley Cup as a rookie goaltender in the footsteps of Jordan Binnington, Matt Murray. But this guy's 19 years old. His future ahead of him is very, very good. Thomas Harley himself. Thomas Harley, the Conn Smythe winner. Only fair he gets a lap with the cup. He's massive. He's been our best defenseman the entirety of this video so far. And we have just been locked in entirely. And Anton Lundell, I don't know how many big goals this guy had, but goddamn, he was the king of the 2-goal games. He was scoring at will in the postseason and just a major contributor to us winning the Stanley Cup in year number 3. It took me 3 years as the general manager to get the job done in UConn. I have honestly no clue how P. Shoresy didn't win the Conn Smythe Trophy. The dude had 20 goals and 33 points. I get he was a -5, but that is way better than what Thomas Harley provided to this team. Martin H's had 29. We got Zane Parekh with 27. This dude just puts up points in the simulation. Harley had 27, Wright with 26 and 10 goals. Our offense. How many, 17-point scores do we have on this squad? Pekka Pasta, his save percentage went up. It was down at an 880, an 899, 1 shutout, 16-1 record. It doesn't matter. We won the cup. Kachuk wins the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard to Matthews, Draisaitl the Art Ross. We got Barkov winning the Hart, Cale Makar the Norris. Pekka Pasta is going to win that Calder Trophy. Conn Smythe will go to Thomas Harley, Jacob Markstrom the Vezina, and for the Selke, yet again, Sid the Kid Crosby. The Utah Mammoth get the first overall pick. They climb from 10th place all the way to 1. The Islanders and Calgary will all round out the top 3. The plan all along was to move Martin H's at the NHL draft, $15 million. I don't want to pay him that money. I just got him on my team for a trade asset, and we ended up winning the Stanley Cup with him, so hats off to that. He's going to go to Utah, and as well as Yaroslav Askarov for the first overall pick. They're totally unwilling. We're going to have to sweeten the deal. I threw in a first, second, and a third into the trade, and there we go. Utah has accepted my offer. We will see you out on the ice. And we got options. Luke Yonkman or Landon DuPont, the generational forward or the generational defenseman. Who do we go after? I know both of these guys are franchise medium or high potential. Yonkman might be a little bit better to start off, but DuPont can develop into a very nice player. I think I'm going to have to go with Luke Yonkman. We need that number 1 centerman on our squad, so welcome to UConn. 90 overall, franchise high potential. Our number 1 D-man potentially, Zane Parekh, has been locked up long-term, $11 million, but damn, has he been good for this team. The defending champs in UConn went out and got an 87 overall defenseman in Brandon Carlo, who probably is not going to play here long-term, but he's on a big contract. That really doesn't matter with all the cap space that we had. We won the Stanley Cup with 20-30 mil of cap space available. Heading into year number 4 as the defending Cup champions, this is what our roster looks like. We got Shoresy at a 96. Yonkman walks into the league at a 90. Tara Tukinen's an 85. We got Lundell alongside Wright and Greg. Hoglander with Trevor Moore and JVR. Kaliev, Lowry, and then Rasmussen for our forward core. Defensively, we probably got the best D pair in the entire league in Parekh and Harley. 89 and 90 overall. They fit like a goddamn glove. Samuelson and Romanov, Moser and Carlo. That is a damn good D core. And then we got a 95 or 94 overall goaltender between the pipes and Pekka Pasta. I feel like our roster right now is kind of missing a sniper on that second or third line. So Joakim Kemmel from the Nashville Predators is the perfect guy to go after. We got a second, another second, and a third to Nashville. They rejected and are totally unwilling. And there we go. We added in our backup goaltender, added in John Gibson, and we got the deal to go through. UConn is coming out of the gates absolutely flying. We are 14-3-1. The defending champs, they want to go back-to-back. The UConn Icemen might be the greatest franchise of all time. 36-8-3 to start this season, having one of the best regular seasons in the history of the league. We've had basically a perfect season up to this point, 44-15-5. We're at the trade deadline, going all in yet again, trying to get Mikhail Sergachev signed at $8.5 million. No clause in his contract, so if I want to move him, I can definitely do so. I don't know if this value is going to be enough. We got a first and a third. And they're fine coughing it up, but I think the value is just not there. I will add in another second and a third round pick, and they still do not want to go after that. Adding in Samuelson to the trade alongside picks to try to go all in and make this trade go through, and I don't think it's going to happen. We're going to have to move on. The best regular season by the UConn Icemen to date, 56-18-8, 120 points. By far and away the best team in our division and in the entire NHL. Nobody was really that close. We were 7 points ahead of the Florida Panthers, We won the Presidents for the first time in our franchise's history as we now attempt to go back-to-back. P. Shoresy's going to have an absolutely historic season. 78 goals on the year, 138 points. Luke Yonkman as a rook had 38 and 108 points. Zane Parekh, I cannot say enough good things about this man. Gets better pretty much every single season. He's got 16 goals, 91 points this year in 82 games, way over point per game as a defenseman. Kemmel, 76 and 82. He was very, very good. Shane Wright was good. We got Ridley Gregg scoring damn near 30 goals. And for Pekka Pasta, man, a .915 save percentage. The man had 9 shutouts and a record of 38, 10, and 6. Of course, Shoresy's going to lead the league in scoring, 138 points. McDavid got close, though, with 130. And on the goal side, I doubt anybody was even in the same realm, as Shoresy was damn near a goal-per-game player. Leon at 62, Matthews with 60. And look at Gavin McKenna, 57 goals as a 20-year-old. Logan Thompson's going to have the most wins by any goalie with 45, and the most shutouts. That will go to Pekka Pasta with 9. And for round number 1, we're not going to get an easy matchup despite being the number 1 seed in the league. We got to face Makar and McKinnon in the Colorado Avalanche. I'm expecting like a 5-6 game hard-fought series, but it's definitely not going to be easy. Here we go, game number 1 of the very first round. We're down by 1. Nathan McKinnon, second period, we tie things up, and in the third, we come out on top. Luke Yonkman in his very first playoff game will score the game winner. Let's protect home ice, go up 2-0, headed to Ball Arena for game number 3. First period, Luke Yonkman again, been clutch so far. Second period, Colorado will respond. We got ourselves a game in this third. Come on, UConn. No, Gabriel Landeskog will extend the lead to 2 on Pekka Pasta. I can't use he was a rookie as an excuse anymore. He's a Stanley Cup winning goaltender. He has got to be better than that in the third. Samuelson makes it a 1-goal game. We're not out of it yet. A possibility at tying it. 3 minutes to go. No goal scoring support from UConn. And we're going to split the first 2 games. Game number 3. The series has made the switch to Colorado. And entering the third, we are going to be down by a goal again. We're literally trailing in a hockey game again for the second time in a row. But Zane Parekh, his second of the night. But McKinnon's going to respond right away on Pekka Pasta, giving Colorado the lead. If we lose this game, I'm going to have to make some lineup changes, man. Come on, UConn. Where is Shoresy? Has he scored yet in this hockey series? Holy hell. McKinnon's been absolutely torching us. We make it a 1-goal game, but it's not going to be enough. And we're down 2-1. I messed around, tinkered with my lineup, and now we're heading into a game 4 where it's basically a must-win. First period, 1-0 lead, Anton Lundell. Second period, 3-0 lead, and there we go. That is a UConn Iceman performance. Tie series headed back to UConn. Here we go. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, P. Shoresy, finally waking up. Second period, 2-0 lead, and we will shut out the Colorado Avalanche. Head to Ball Arena for game 6. And try to eliminate them. Elimination game for Colorado. Here we go. First period, a 2-2 tie. Kemmel and Luke Yonkman. Second period, we're down by a pair. O'Connor and Miles Wood. Never mind, Anton Lundell. And then P. Shoresy. He has awoken. The beast is alive now, Colorado. He was quiet very early on in this series, but he has taken over the later half. 10 minutes to go in this third. We got ourselves a tie game. Here we go. Overtime in game number 6 with the chance to move on to the second round. Colorado season is on the line, so we got to get in there. We got to just take shots. Luke Yonkman, fire away, buddy. Everything you can. Over to Shoresy. Shoresy blasting one. Nice save by Blackwood. The rebound is there. Okay, we got to go full forecheck, full attack. Nice forecheck in the corner, Shane Wright. I've loaded up that top line that worked last year in the postseason, so I wanted to do the exact... Oh my god, Carlo with a muffin! And Pekka Pasta, highway robbery. 16:58, we've been stuck in our own end because of Brendan Carlo. We win that job. Parekh skating that puck up. Zane Parekh, a potential game winner. Yonkman moves over to Shoresy. Back to Shoresy again, trying to take a shot on net, but he couldn't get it to go. Here comes Val Nichushkin the other way for Colorado, trying to keep their season alive. Force a game number 7 back in UConn. The Icemen want to finish this series in 6. Kemmel the other way, saucing it in the middle. I don't like that pass at all, man. Here comes Nichushkin. Ice queuing in the offensive zone. Down low, Pajot. Putting out in front. Pajot waiting, firing, and Pekka again is forced to cover it up. We win another draw. Luke Yonkman has been absolute dynamite in the face-off circle. Moser feeds it over to P. Shoresy. We're headed the wrong way, boys. Yonkman into the zone. Luke Yonkman, I don't like the passes, man. We're just risking too much. Can we just get into the offensive zone and maybe get a shot on net? We might actually score. You never know. Bertuzzo Back to Devon Taves. Over to Landy. Landy, nice save by Pekka. 11:09 left to go. They're going to win that draw. Bertuzzo to Taves. Oh my, the deflection could have went in, and they got full pressure now. It is not looking good. Bertuzzo. There we go. We clear the zone. Devon Taves has to go back and regroup. Here comes Colorado again. They've definitely controlled the pace of play here in this overtime. We're going to make a little bit of a line change. Thomas Harley, take the ice, buddy. Take the ice, Harley. Here we go. Empty net, delayed penalty. Hoglander into the zone, and we're headed to the power play. Okay. I called a timeout just to make sure that our first power play unit was well rested. Yonkman, he wins the draw again. Over one-timer. What a save by Blackwood. Yonkman trying to move it back to the point. Perek cannot keep that puck in, though. Zane needs some help. Uh-oh, we got to go back and regroup now. 7:10 to go. Here comes Shane Wright into the zone. Shooting. Easy save by Blackwood. Jury the other way. Where's our forecheck, dude? We're on the power play in overtime, and then we try to keep that in. 22 seconds left in the PP. 6:35 left to go here in OT. I guess Colorado's going to kill off that penalty kill. Makar into the zone, in the middle. Nice shot block there by our decor. Shane Wright the other way. We get a 2-on-1 right. Finding Shorzy. Shorzy, why? Why is Shorzy trying to go 5-hole, man? That is not your specialty. On Lachushkin the other way. 4:35 left to go. Nathan McKinnon getting into the zone. There we go. Hoglander hard on that back check. He turns it over, though. Lehkonen over, and there it is. The Colorado Avalanche have forced a Game 7 in round number 1. Here we go. Game 7 on home ice. We got to win it. First period, 1-0 lead. Arthur Kaliev. Second period, we got a 2-1 advantage. Luke Yonkman's been good in his first ever playoff series, but I need Pekka Pasta to show up here in the third. Colorado has like a 5-minute major. They're still on the power play. How long is this going to last for? Fuck off, man. Pajot ties the game up, and then we don't score. Oh, what the hell is going on right now with UConn? I swear to God, this team, thank the good Lord, Luke Yonkman will tie the game up. Game 7, overtime, round number 1. Here we go. Most likely going to win. Oh my God, Luke Yonkman, the GOAT. Here we go. Shorzy the other way. Game 7, overtime. We got the black jerseys on. Those are our Game 7 jerseys, so hopefully they bring us good luck. Undefeated in Game 7s thus far in Utah or UConn franchise history. Lehkonen the other way. Nice save by Pekka Pasta. Oh my, he batted it in midair. 18 minutes to go. We win that draw. Has Luke Yonkman lost a face-off draw yet? Zane Perek trying to get out of his own end. We got to go full forecheck. Come on, UConn. We are undefeated so far. Shorzy in the middle. Oh my, Luke Yonkman gets robbed by Mackenzie Blackwood. Offensive zone draw again. I'm trusting Luke, man. This guy has never lost a face-off draw. There we go. Of course, I had to jinx it. Why do we even open my goddamn mouth? All right, Gerard the other way. Nice. Shane Wright picks it off. Here comes UConn the other way. Into the offensive zone. Shane Wright moves it over. Perek to Carlo. Oh my, got deflected in the slot. Come on, Luke Yonkman. A series winner would be absolutely legendary to your resume. In your rookie season as well. Here comes Cale Makar. He's got Shorzy on his ass, though. Sniffing goddamn rocket fumes. Shane Wright over to Carlo. Up to Shorzy. Into the zone. Shorzy spinning, firing. That's going to be an easy save by Blackwood. 13 minutes to go here in Game 7. Anton Lundell. Lundell walking out, trying to jam it home. Where is it at? 13-12 left to go. Anton Lundell, I'm relying on you to win this faceoff. Lundell, he wins it back. Shot, short side. It's trickling in. No, how did Blackwood cover that up? He's got no stamina. He's got no fucking energy. Lundell again, losing the draw this time. Mackenzie Blackwood is dead tired. The man is about to take a heart attack between the pipes. We need 1 or 2 shots. Teratukin in the middle. Come on, bury it. Yeah, there we go. Anton Lundell, Game 7 overtime winner, and we are off to the second round. Again, another second round matchup up against the Edmonton Oilers. They did not win 61 games this season, but again, McDavid and Dry, always going to be a scary duo to go up against, especially with this sim engine. All right, game number 1, round number 2. Here we go. On home ice, we're going to have home ice throughout the entirety of the postseason, and we dominated the Oilers 5-1 in the first game. Game number 2, still in UConn, 1-0 first period lead. Thank you, Trevor Moore. Second period, 2-1. And the Icemen will go up 2-0 in their second round matchup up against Edmonton. A potential stranglehold on the series with a win tonight. First period, 1-0 lead for UConn. Ridley Gregg. Second period, we're down by 1. We're not out of it though. We get a power play right off the bat. Cannot capitalize, unfortunately. We cannot give up that next goal. If we do, the game most likely is going to be over. And there it is. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins puts this game out of reach. The insurance marker the Oilers needed, and they're back in this series. All right, come on, UConn. Steal one on the road here. First period, we're down by 2. Bouchard and Draisaitl. Second period, it's only a 1-goal deficit. Shorzy and Harley gets us on the board. Only 16 shots on Stuart Skinner, so we're kind of getting outplayed. And there we go. Shorzy ties the game up at 3. Can we take the lead? Yes! Tara Tukin. And then Jesper Fast on Stuart Skinner. I didn't even know Fast was in the lineup. As the Yukon Icemen, they're going to take a dominating 3-1 series lead. Elimination game for the Oilers. Come on, Yukon. Put them to bed. First period, 4-2 lead. We scored 4, but we gave up 2. Second period, 5-3 lead, and the Yukon Icemen back-to-back seasons of headed to the conference finals. And now, surprisingly, the Flames have made the conference finals, so we are guaranteed a Canadian team back in the Stanley Cup finals for the second straight season. And I do believe Calgary does have Gavin McKenna on their roster. So here's their lineup. McKenna already a 92 overall. Outside of that, they do got Coronado, which is nice. Kane can probably kill you at certain portions of the series, but their forward core does not rival ours whatsoever. Defensively, I honestly think we're better there also. And between the pipes, we got the much better goaltender. Game 1 in Yukon. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Shane Wright. Second period, 3-0 lead. And we shut out the Flames 4-zip in game number 1. Game 2, we got to protect home ice. First period, 2-0 lead. Second period, we're only up by 1. And damn, the Flames will pull off the third period comeback, scoring 5 goals in the third and 7 total to steal game number 2. All right, Yukon, we go on the road. We got to get a victory. First period, 2-2 tie against Calgary. Second period, we're down by a goal. Mackenzie Weegar. You know, the Flames, they obviously were simulating well to get this far, but Anton Lundell will tie the game up at 3. Shots are 30-19 for the Icemen halfway through this third period. Come on, Yukon. You know what to do. 5 minutes to go. P. Shorzy, wake up and score a goal here, buddy. Do not head on over to overtime. And that is exactly what we're going to do. First overtime on the board, and then Calgary will take it. They go up 2-1 in this series as Gavin McKenna scores the overtime winner. A must-win here for the Icemen, I cannot lie. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, P. Shorzy. Second period, we're down by 1 yet again. The Calgary Flames have just been slightly ahead of us in this hockey series. Come on, Yukon. It's our power play. Our power play's been god-awful. We cannot capitalize on anything. There we go. Ridley Gregg ties the game up. Power play again. Come on, Yukon. Nobody's going to pot one home in a potential game where we could go down 3-1. I don't want overtime yet again. 3 minutes to go. Come on. Yes. Late game power play. Late game power play. No! Overtime it is here in game number 4. The series really relies on this game, and we are killing to start off. 1:20 of penalty kill time. Coronado. Move it over. Get it out. Shane Wright. Dump it down. Here we go. Parek's got an opportunity. Skate Parek. Turn on the Jets, buddy. Zane Parek over. Greg. Oh my, what a save by Dustin Wolf. 19:08. Still on the penalty kill, but we could get a goal here, and we're not out of it. Parek over. Shane Wright shooting. Shane Wright short side. Overtime winner shorthanded, and the Icemen have tied the series up at 2. Shorthanded, Yukon is still goddamn dangerous. Zane Parek feeds it down low to Sugar Shane Wright. How did he squeeze that? The VH movement of Dustin Wolf was not enough. Was that 5-hole? Let's see here. Oh, it deflected off of his glove and went in the back of the net. Here we go. First period, 1-0 lead for Yukon. P. Shorzy will score on Dustin Wolf. Second period, they tie it up at 1. Patty Kane in 2028 is scoring goals, important goals, big game goals in the postseason. Another power play. Man, our power play percentage is absolutely horrific. And that is going to be the deciding factor. Jordan Eberle takes the lead for Calgary on the power play. Our PK's not getting the job done. And the Yukon Icemen now are going to have to go to Calgary and try to win one just to draw. Oh my God, Ridley Gregg with 52 seconds remaining. I was going to hop in, accidentally sim the period, and Zane Parek gets the overtime winner as we go up 3-2. What a roller coaster of emotions. Another cup final berth is on the horizon here in Calgary. First period, 2-1 lead for the Icemen. Parek and Taratukin. Second period, a 3-1 lead, and there we go. It is back-to-back seasons that the Yukon Icemen will play for the Stanley Cup. And now in the Cup Finals, we're going to play a pretty young Philadelphia Flyers squad who now do have Matvei Mishkov. Obviously, he's probably an absolute stud, so let's take a look at their roster. So, the Flyers first line, honestly, doesn't look that bad. We got Konechny, Roger McQueen, and Ricard Raquel, an 86, 88, and 91. Matvei Mishkov, only an 88 overall in that second line. They do got a top 6 that can't compete with us. Their third line is decent. Yeah, they do got a pretty solid overall forward core. Defensively, Drysdale and Sanheim are good. York and Andra are good as well. Zamula, their decor doesn't look too bad. And between the pipes, Carter Hart is an 85. This roster, I mean, potentially could upset us. I think we have the better team, but obviously hockey is not played on paper. Game 1, Stanley Cup Finals. Here we go. First period, no score. Second period, still no score. Entering the third, we got ourselves a scoreless hockey game, which is new for UConn. I mean, we're getting outshot 27-21 right now. We're in UConn. We have home ice advantage. We had to go to a Game 7 last year. I definitely got to update our power play too. Whatever is going on, it is just not working. 5 minutes to go. A very defensive style of hockey here in game number 1, as it looks like we are headed to overtime as UConn will steal it. Ridley Gregg on the power play, an overtime winner. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. Game number 2, we still got to take care of business, and we're down by 2 after the first period. Second period, still a 2-0 deficit for UConn, as we're dominating the pace of play, outshooting them 35-18, but have yet to score on Carter Hart. Adam Lowry gets us on the board, though, but Travis Novak, or Thomas Novak, I don't even know what his first name is. He extends the lead to 2. It is a 3-1 hockey game, and Philadelphia will tie the series up at 1. The series has made the switch now to Philly for game number 3. First period, we absolutely explode our load. 4 goals. Second period, a 5-2 game, and we take care of business 7-3. Game 4, still in Philly. First period, they get the lead 1-0. Sean Couturier is still kicking the can. Second period, we explode for 4 unanswered. Perek, Lundell, Samuelson, and Lundell again. And we will dominate them 5-1 and take a 3-1 series lead headed back to UConn. Here we go. Stanley Cup in the building. First period, 1-0 lead again for Philly. Travis Konechny this time. We respond, tie things up. Tara Tukin on Carter Hart. I did tweak our power play, but Roger McQueen gives the Flyers the lead. They get a power play again. Come on, UConn. Tie this hockey game up. 12 minutes to go in the third period. 10 minutes remaining. And we're giving up way too many penalties, man. We got to stop taking the penalties. We cannot spend the third on the PK. All we need is 1, and Roger McQueen will ice the game as we go to Philadelphia for game number 6. Not going to make any changes. I'm going to rely on this squad that got me here. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, P. Shoresy. Second period, a 5-3 lead entering the third for UConn. We're giving up too many power plays again. Power play for the Icemen. Can we put this game out of reach? If we score 1 more, the game is over. Yes, Joakim Kemmel will extend the lead to 3 here in the third period with only 5 minutes to go. Right now, we have 51 seconds to go in the third period. I don't know why we always have to win the Stanley Cup on the road, but goddamn, we got to at least get 1 home victory with the cup in our building. Here we go. Shane Wright moves on over to Carlo. Brendan Carlo. Let's just trap it up here. UConn, we don't have to take any stupid penalties. We don't have to take any stupid chances. We got 33 seconds to kill and a 3-goal lead. Walking in. Nice play there, Taratukin. You're only 5'9", but man, do you got heart. Oh, no, he's getting laid out. Brendan Carlo lead it into the offensive zone. Carlo. Attaboy, Shane Wright. Get on his ass, dude. Sniff his rocket fumes. 15 seconds to spare. Philadelphia is dead silent right now, as the Flyers made the Cup final for the first time in damn near 50 seasons, but unfortunately, they just ran into a much better team, as the UConn Icemen are going to go back-to-back and win their second Stanley Cup of the franchise's history. Dynasty brewing here in UConn, as we just cannot be beat. We go to 7. We got a 5-0 undefeated record in Game 7. We go back-to-back. In our first 4 seasons, we got 2 Stanley Cups, made the playoffs every single year. GM has been cooking. The players has been cooking. And I mean, this team is just built for postseason hockey. Conn Smythe winner this year will go to the rightful winner in P. Shoresy. 19 goals, 36 points. You could argue he probably should have had it last year as well. Had a 20-goal playoff run, the most in NHL history. But he gets his this year as the UConn Icemen champions yet again. On the road, though, that is killing me, man. There is the Stanley Cup being raised in Philadelphia, but for the newest franchise in the UConn Icemen. As Captain Shoresy for the second consecutive season will come on up, accept the award, accept the trophy, and the UConn Icemen now, they flip their attention to a 3-peat potential. But right now, we're just going to enjoy that victory. Pekka Pasta literally is undefeated in the postseason alongside P. Shoresy. Actually, he is. Yeah, he is undefeated in the postseason. Shoresy did lose a playoff series, but Pekka back-to-back titles as the starting goaltender. The young man, the rookie, the first overall pick last year. He joined the defending champs. He had a 100-point season as a rook. He's only 19 years of age on his ELC, and he's already a Stanley Cup champion. I have a feeling many more cups in the future for UConn. By far and away, the most surprising player of this video has been Zane Parekh. This dude is amazing. I thought signing him at $11 million for 8 years was a little bit of an overpay, but if anything, he's underpaid. This dude produces time in, time out. He's our best defenseman, and he's only 23 years of age. P. Shorzy has been a playoff performer. He actually started out the playoff run very, very slow, but 19 goals, 36 points. I can't not ask more of him. Zane Parekh, look at that, 5 and 23 for 28. Lundell had 27. Shane Wright with 20. Luke Yonkman was only a rookie in the postseason. He's only going to get better from there. And LaPecca Pasta, a .919 save percentage alongside 3 shutouts and a 16-6-2 record. P. Shorzy's going to go ahead and clean sweep in all the major individual awards. The Norris also is going to go to Zane Parekh, the Conn Smythe to P. Shorzy. Pekka Pasta is going to win the Vezina, and for the Selke, it will go to Robert Thomas. So the UConn Icemen were well represented in the NHL award ceremony. The Detroit Dead Wings, they're going to go ahead and win the NHL draft lottery. I'm not going to trade for it this season, as our days in the lottery, or the top 5 at least, are definitely over for UConn. We're in the contending dynasty stage right now. The greatest goal scorer of all time has finally decided to retire. We got Ovi getting over 1,000 goals in his career, which is absurd. Stammer's retiring. Blake Wheeler's gone. David Perron, Chris Letang, Yossi, Jordan Stahl, Mark Stone spleen. He's only 36 years old, but I guess his spleen was hurting a little bit too much. Moving on to our 5th season in the NHL, still rocking out the same exact top 6. We got Shorzy, Yonkman, and Kemmel, Tara Tukkanen alongside Wright and Ridley Gregg. That is a very viable top 6, although I would like a second-line winger over this guy. His contract is expiring at the end of the year, so we'll see what happens there. Gord alongside Lundell and Bobby Brink on the 3rd line. Hoglander, Tavares, and Duclair fills out our depth. Defensively, running back the same decor, Harley and Parekh, Carlo and Moser, Romanov and Samuelson, and then Pekka Pasta is still a 94 overall. We got LePecca Pasta locked up, $8.8 million for 8 seasons, an absolute steal of a contract. As we now prepare to try to go back to back and get a 3-peat with UConn, I gotta upgrade the roster. Tartukin, he's gone after this season. He hasn't really grown at all. He started out at an 82. He's peaked at an 85. Throwing him into a trade with a first 2/3 for Dylan Gunther from the Utah Hockey Club. And on behalf of that organization, they have accepted my offer, and we straight up fleece them. Another guy I want to go after to bolster our decor is none other than Pavel Mintyukov. He makes less money than Brendan Carlo. He's a little bit better. Does need to be re-signed a few seasons, but he also is young himself. Instead, I have switched my focus to Bowen Byram from the Buffalo Sabres for Carlo, a 2nd, 2/3, and a 4th round pick, and there we go. It has been accepted. This is our new and improved roster. Still got Yonkman, Kemmel, and Shorzy on the 1st line, followed by Gregg, Wright, and Gunther. Gord alongside Lundell and John Tavares, and then Hoglander, Dak, and Brink to round out our forward core. Defensively, Harley and Parekh yet again. Byram will play alongside Samuelson, and Romanov will play with JJ Moser. And then LaPecca Pasta is a 94 overall superstar. The progress of UConn has honestly been astonishing. We have literally gotten better every single season in existence, and I think we might cap off at a 60-win hockey team, the best in the entire NHL, on the verge of a 3-peat potentially. P. Shorzy yet again might honestly have a case for being the best player in the entire NHL. 65 goals, 122 points. Zane Parekh, oh my god, dude. Best decision I think I've ever made in my GMing career. 115 points as a D-man, 92 apples. Luke Yonkman had 48 goals, 111 points. Dylan Gunther, 33 and 80. He was a very nice pickup. Ridley Gregg was almost point per game. Shane Wright is a 30-goal scorer. And if we take a look at LaPecca Pasta, 51, 15, and 3 with 10 shutouts and a 923. Okay, never mind. Austin Matthews going to lead the NHL in scoring, 141 points. He maybe has a case over Shorzy. More goals also with 69. But for the goaltenders in the league, we do have the best. The most wins with 51 and the most shutouts at 10. And as we try to go back to back to back, our playoff run will begin in the very first round up against the Minnesota Wild. Now, the Wild actually have a very good first line with Kaprizov, Eriksson, Ek, and Boldy. Our second line absolutely blows them out of the water. Third line is better. Our fourth line is better. Also, defensively, they don't really, outside of Brock Faber, have any studs, although he's as high of an overall as Zane Parekh. But between the pipes, Wallstedt is only 4 overalls less than LaPecca Pasta. Here we go. Game number 1 of our playoff run. First period, we got a 1-1 tie. Second period, we go up 2-1, and we finish it with a 4-1 victory in game number 1. Protect home ice. Game number 2, still in Yukon. We'll have home ice throughout the entirety of the postseason, and in game number 2, we're going to actually lose it as Minnesota will steal it 4-3, scoring 2 in the third period. Juracek and Bruce Jenner. I do trust this squad to go on the road and win hockey games. 4-1 after the first period, and Yukon is going to dominate their way to a 2-1 series lead. Game 4 in Minnesota. First period, 2-0 lead. Byram and Shoresy. Second period, 3-0 lead, and we got a playoff Pekka Pasta shutout, baby. Here we go. Back in Yukon, trying to close the series out. First period, 1-0 lead. The Wild, they are going to respond. Second period, they are up by 2, entering the third. We're going to have a comeback, or we are going to Minnesota for game number 6. Come on, Yukon. We need the rest. Do not get shut out in a, oh my god, 3-0 lead. I think that is wraps on this hockey game as we get shut out after we shut out Minnesota. Game 6 in Minnesota, trying to move on to the second round. First period, oh no, things are not going well right now. Our offense has run extremely dry. Second period, we cut the lead down to 1, so we're definitely not out of it. I don't want to go back to a game 7, man. Minnesota reverse 3-1ing us right now would be pretty rough, especially as the defending Cup champions. 9 minutes to go in the third. Can anybody on Yukon step up? It is 1 goal. There's no way we're getting shut down by Jesper Wallstedt like this, as the Minnesota Wild have clawed their way back in this series, and we'll have a Game 7 back in Yukon. Here we go. Game 7 in Yukon. First period. Oh my god, that is the second straight, or actually third straight time in a row after the first. We are trailing by 2. Second period. Yes, sir, we will respond. Greg, Gunther, and Shoresy. This is a massive third period. We cannot give up penalties. Come on. We got a 1-goal lead. I need Pekka Pasta to shut the door. He has had a 940 in the first round so far. 9 minutes to go in the third. Yukon trying. Yes! Luke Yonkman finally steps up. Gives us an insurance marker to make it a 2-goal game. And the Yukon Icemen, in their franchise history, now move to 6-0 in Game 7s. Yet again, another matchup up against Edmonton in round number 2. We know who's on their roster. They got a strong team. It's going to be a very hard-fought series. So the Oilers' first line is utterly stacked. A 98 Leon, a 99 McDavid, and a 90 Mason Marchment. That is going to be tough to beat. Now, second line, we dominate them. They don't have any depth whatsoever. Defensively, Bouchard and Rasmus Anderson are both a 91 overall. But I think the overall decor of Yukon is going to be better, and we are miles ahead of them in between the pipe. Here we go. Second round begins now. First period, no score. Second period, a 3-0 lead. Yonkman, Greg, and Yonkman, and Utah will shut out, or Yukon. Why did I say Utah yet again? We end up losing back-to-back games. I might have to rework the lineup yet again. First period, we got a 1-1 tie. Dylan Gunther has our lone goal. I need Shoresy to step up. Second period, a 1-1 tie entering the third. P. Shoresy, honestly, he had no apples in the first round, just goals. Wasn't even point per game. I'm expecting a lot more out of him. There we go. Ridley, Greg on Stewart, Foreskin, Skinner, giving Yukon the lead here in the third period with 7 minutes to go. Can Pekka Pasta shut the door and Yukon take a 2-1 series lead? Yes, they will. Thank you, JJ Moser, for the empty netter. Game 4 in Edmonton. We can take a stranglehold on this series. First period, 3-1 lead by Yukon. Second period, Edmonton is going to get back to within 1, but we will come out with the 5-3 victory. A gentleman's sweep is on the horizon. First period, 1-0 lead for Yukon. Zane Parekh gets us going. Second period, a 3-2 lead, and the Icemen are headed to their third consecutive Western Conference Finals. And now, yet again, a Canadian Western Conference Final. Last year was Calgary. This year it's Winnipeg, and we're going to check out their lineup to try to go back to the Stanley Cup Finals for the third year in a row. The Jets have a very good Kyle Connor at a 95 overall. Scheifele is kind of low at an 85. Nikolai Ehlers is a 90. I don't really like their forward core. No depth whatsoever. I think we got them beat top to bottom. Defensively, okay, they are stacked defensively. Quinn Hughes at a 97 overall, Neil Pionk at an 87, Josh Morrissey at a 91. They probably have a better decor, maybe. Not as deep as us, but I mean, we don't have a guy that's a 97 overall. And they get a 92 overall netminder in Connor Hellebuck. But again, it is playoff Hellebuck. He's 35 years old. We got the better goalie. Here we go. Game number 1 in UConn. First period, no score. Second period, 2-1 lead for the Jets. And we're going to tie it up, head to overtime. And we come back. John Tavares, overtime winner, will steal game number 1. Game number 2, still on home ice. First period, 2-2 tie. Second period, 5-3 lead. And UConn in a barn burner 6-5 will go up 2-0 in the conference finals. We can really take a stranglehold on this series if we go up 3-0 here. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Anton Lundell. 3-1 after 2. And the Icemen are on the verge of sweeping Winnipeg. Game 4 in Winnipeg. Their season is on the line. First period, there they go. They're going to respond. Second period, they are up 3-1. And I honestly presumed or assumed that they were going to at least win one game in this series. We are now back on home ice. Let's close the series out. First period, no score. Second period, 3-1 lead, and the UConn Icemen for the 3rd consecutive season are headed to the Stanley Cup Finals. It is going to be an all-Canadian Cup final, UConn versus Toronto in the Stanley Cup Finals with legacy on the line. We win our 3rd in a row. We are a dynasty in the NHL. Toronto still, all these years later in 2029, are running back the same exact core. They got Nylander, Matthews, and Marner all on the first line, and they got no depth whatsoever. So we shut down the first line. They're not going to be able to score on us. Defensively, it's not really that great. Riley's only an 87, and between the pipes, Luukkonen at an 85, I think we got them beat. All right, here we go. Game number 1, Stanley Cup Finals, 2-1 lead after the first period. Hoglander and Yonkman. Second period, Toronto's going to respond with 2 of their own, and they are going to steal game number 1 in UConn. Oh no, they got the sim engine on their side. Whenever you see a bad team performing as well as they are, you know something is not going to go your way. All right, UConn, we cannot lose the first 2 on home ice. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Niels Hoglander. Second period, 4-0, and there we go. A 9-0 stomping of the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is what we should do basically every game of the series. We move on to game number 3 now in Toronto. First period, 3-0 lead there. We should be scoring at will against these guys. Second period, 4-0, and there we go. 5-1 victory in game number 3. 45 shots on goal also. We can really take a stranglehold here in the Cup Finals if we win tonight. First period, no score in the hockey game. Second period, 2-1 lead for the Maple Leafs. Zane Parekh does get us on the board though. We are not out of it yet. We got the best offense in the NHL. Come on, there we go. Anton Lundell on Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen will tie the game up at 2. We're about halfway through this third period. And then Dylan Guenther will respond with 6:47 left to go in the period as the Icemen now head back to home in Game 5 with the Stanley Cup in the building. Game 5 in UConn. I want to win it on home ice. First period, 4-1 lead. Oh my God. Shorzy right and Parekh gets a pair. Second period, a 7-1 absolute stomping. This quite possibly is the most craziest Cup Final elimination game of all time. It is 11-1 with the Cup in the building. That is the effort the Toronto Maple Leafs just put out here in game number 5 as the UConn Icemen are seconds away from winning their 3rd in a row and just completely embarrassing the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is the most Leaf moment probably in the history of their franchise. Season on the line, the Cup in the building, and they're going to get absolutely pounded 11-1. For the 3rd season in a row, UConn now can consider themselves a dynasty. A three-peat in the modern era has not been done since the 80s with the New York Islanders. But the newest franchise in the NHL got it done. We've only been in the league 5 years, and we have 3 Stanley Cups. Made the playoffs every single season. Got better regular season-wise every single year. We won more games than the previous. Luke Yonkman, he's going to go on and win his first ever Conn Smythe Trophy. The dude had 15 goals and 32 points. Outperforming a guy like Shorzy is absolutely wild, but he will do it. He's going to win the Conn Smythe. Well-deserved. And this team is still so young, dude. We're not even in our prime yet. We have 3 Stanley Cups. We're an absolute dynasty. We could go down as the greatest team in NHL history one day. As Captain Shorzy, the first time on home ice, he's able to lift it in front of our home fans. They get to experience it together as the UConn Icemen for the 3rd season in a row our Stanley Cup champs. Luke Yonkman at 20 years of age is already a 3-time Cup champ, and now he's got a Conn Smythe to his resume, 15 goals, 32 points. He really came out into his own this playoff run. He is now a 96 overall. We got P. Shorzy. He still produced, no doubt about it. Shane Wright, 29 points in 22 games. Zane Parekh was amazing. Ridley Gregg had 11 goals and 25 points. Dylan Guenther had 24. An amazing pickup. And LaPecca Pasta, 3 shutouts, a .928 save percentage, and the most important stat of all, 16 wins. Matthews will win all the major individual awards. We got the Norris again, back-to-back seasons going to Zane Parekh. The Conn Smythe will be Luke Yonkman. Pekka Pasta with back-to-back Vezinas. And for the Selke, it is going to go to Sid the Kid Crosby. Crosby saw the UConn Dynasty and decided to dip out of the NHL. The dude put up over 2,000 points in his career. Gino is gone. Claude Giroux is out of here. Jamie Benn, Sagan, Zibanejad, and Doughty have all retired. Also, the UConn Icemen heading into year number 6 pretty much are going to run back the exact same roster. The only difference is we got Jack Quinn on that third line now alongside Lundell and Hoglander. Fourth line is what it is defensively. Same exact decor that has been undefeated in the postseason. And Pekka Pasta now has grown to a 95 overall. UConn now at the deadline, another great individual. Oh my fuck, they traded him away. Are you kidding me? For the first year in Iceman history, we are not going to improve on our previous regular season record. 58 wins is still electric, 22 losses, 2 in overtime for 118 points. The best team not in the NHL. Our President's Trophy streak will end, I believe, at 3 in a row, potentially, or 2 maybe, as the Florida Panthers would take the cake this season, 57, 17, and 8. Shorzy is the best player in the NHL right now, another 60-goal season. He had 118 points. We got Luke Yonkman having a career-high 48 goals. Zane Parekh with his third, I believe, 100-point season as a defenseman. Shane Wright has been simulating great on the second line. Guenther, decent season by him with 73 points. Ridley Gregg was great. Harley was decent. And for LaPecca Pasta, 55, 19, and 2 with 5 shutouts and a .913 save percentage. Well, it looks like Mitch Marner has entered his prime. 148 goals leading the NHL, but in scoring, it will be none other than Leon Draisaitl, who's going to end up putting 73 on the board at age 34. That might be the most impressive season anybody has ever had. Shorzy trailed him with 63. Pasta had 62. Connor had 60. We have a very high scoring output in the NHL right now. Back-to-back seasons of Pekka Pasta leading the league in wins. He had 55. Also had 5 shutouts, but Carter Hart is going to have the most at 6. As we are now on a potential road of tying the New York Islanders for 4 straight Stanley Cups. It begins in the first round up against the San Jose Sharks. Celebrini now is in his prime at 23 years of age. He's a 94 overall. We got Will Smith at an 88. Eklund's an 88. Their second line, I mean, I think we dust them off offensively. They don't have a lot of depth either. Defensively, Matthew Schaefer is great at an 89, but outside of that, it is pretty trash. And Joel Hofer at an 83 just is not going to get it done. All right, the road to 4 in a row begins now. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Kemmel. Second period, a 2-2 tie, and UConn will explode in the third and take game number 1, 5-2. All right, game number 2, still in UConn. 3-2 after 1. Luke Yonkman gets a pair, but the San Jose Sharks has the lead. Second period, still up 3-2. And they are going to split the first 2 games in UConn. Game 3, the series has made the switch to San Jose. We got a 1-1 tie after 1. Second period, all knotted up at 2. We are headed to overtime in game number 3, and none other than Sugar Shane Wright will give us the OT winner. And we go up 3-1 over the Sharks in the first round. First period, 1-1 tie. We're honestly not scoring that often in this series. We're down by 1 entering the third. Does UConn have a comeback in them in the third period? Power play by UConn. Come on. We cannot strike. There we go. P. Shorzy, our captain, ties the game up at 3. 10 minutes to go here in the third period. Come on, UConn, steal one here. 40 shots on net, only 3 goals. What is going on? Joel Hofer is putting on an absolute masterclass right now, as we are going to head in overtime, and no, San Jose, Quentin Musty will tie the series up at 2. The greatest modern day dynasty in NHL history cannot end to the Sharks in the first round. Game 5, first period, 2-0 lead. There we go, right in Shorzy. Second period, 4-0 lead. and my nuclear option of putting Shane Wright on the first line explodes our offense. Elimination game for San Jose. Come on, UConn. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Shorzy. Second period, 2-0 lead, and the Sharks will tie it up in the third. Schaefer and LaRocque. Here we go. Overtime in game number 6. The season is on the line for San Jose as they try to force a game 7 back in UConn. We know the Icemen, though. They're, 6-0, I believe, in game 7s throughout their entire franchise's history. Zane Parekh up to Sugar Shane Wright. Shane Wright bodying some people, but we cannot get possession of that puck. Thomas Harley goes back for it. Harley's getting hounded right now by, is that Will Smith? I think it might be. Go back for it, Zane Parekh. Come on, UConn. There we go. Up to Shorzy. Shorzy, we're having a tough time moving the puck right now. There we go. Luke Yonkman entering the zone. Yonkman waiting for some help. He's trying to go behind the net to right, but it's not going to get completed. Will Smith the other way. He's got 2 guys on him. A little bit of sloppy hockey right now by both teams. Can we get the puck free? No, we cannot get the puck free for some reason. Bowen Byram just dumps it in deep. Matthew Schaefer up to Cardwell. Coming in on UConn. Cardwell. Bang, he got laid out. Schaefer to Bedram. Nice save by Peck. I definitely got to update his pads yet again. I keep forgetting Schaefer getting bodied by Shane Wright. We still got the first line out there. Dickinson! What a save. Get it out, boys. Quentin Musty. Bowen Byram, you got to move that puck. You got to move it quick. There we go. He has no energy. Over to Shane Wright. Shot on net. Easy save by Hofer. Nico Hischier has the most points in the playoffs right now. Definitely would not have expected that. All right, come on now. Win this draw, Ridley Gregg. Gregg on the draw. He's going to lose it, but we get possession. Can we get it? Somebody shoot the puck. Never mind. Cardwell's going to gain it. Up to Quentin Musty. Halfway through overtime already. Petrim in the zone. Saucing it to the middle. Nice back check there. San Jose, they're trying to keep their season aligned. You know they're going to go. Here we go. Byram over Quinn. Why, Jack Quinn? Why are you shooting a backhander? Shots are 43-41, so both goaltenders have been having a very fun time tonight. There it is. Lundell, what a save by the netminder and Hofer. Anton Lundell almost had a series winner. Zane Parekh over to Lundell. Back to Quinn. Quinn trying to enter the zone. I want to get my top line back out there on the ice, but I'm having an issue right now. San Jose is going to forecheck it. They're going to dump it in deep. Zane Parekh. Over to Lundell. Lundell is gassed. Up to Quinn. All right, first line, get back out there. Jack Quinn, dump it in. 4:40 left to go. Yonkman. How does he not win that draw? He's got like 99 overall faceoffs. What a save. Flashing the leather is Joel Hofer. There we go. We win that draw. Harley. The Zane Parekh blasting one. Hits Luke Yonkman out in front, and San Jose is going to clear the zone. Will Smith has no energy. Over to Eklund. Eklund shot. Pekka with the save. Move it up, Harley. Quick up. Oh my God, that was a pizza. Here we go, Shorzy. He's Shorzy into the zone. Shorzy taking a shot, but it's only going to go low. He's first on that forecheck. Going to win that puck battle. Losing it, though. This has been a very uneventful overtime. I'm not going to lie. I feel like we probably should have had a goal by now. Al Tutin into the zone. Finding the slot man. Shot is blocked by Parekh. Over to right. Here we go. Yonkman and Shorzy. 2-on-1 the other way. Yonkman shooting. Save. Rebound. Parekh. There it is. Zane Parekh's first of the postseason will send us to round number 2. This is our third straight matchup in the second round up against Edmonton. We have won the previous 3. Can we keep that trend going? Looking at their forward core, if anything, it's worse than last season. Still, McDavid and Dry, they're going to put up a lot of points, but the depth surrounding them are absolute straight trash. Defensively, they do got Bouchard and Rasmus Andersson, who are both a 91 overall, and Skinner is only an 84. Here we go. Game number 1 of the second round. First period, 3-0 lead, 5-1 after 2, and that was an absolute stomping by UConn. Let's keep this trend going, UConn. Second game here in round number 2. Entering the third period, it is a 3-1 lead for UConn, and we dominate them back-to-back. Take a dominating 2-0 series lead headed to Edmonton. Are we going to be able to go up 3-0 here in the second round? First period, tied up at 1. Second period, we are down by 1 to the Oilers now. 3-2 lead. Never mind. Yanni Gourde will score on Stuart Skinner and tie the game up at 3. We got a power play. Come on, UConn. You guys can strike. You guys can get another one. Another power play. Yeah, Sugar Shane Wright will give UConn the lead. We kill off another penalty. 7 minutes to go. 5-3 advantage. Yanni Gourde gives us the insurance marker, and the Edmonton Oilers are on the verge of being swept. Get the brooms out. Here we go. I don't believe we've ever swept anybody in the playoffs, so let's see if we can get it done. First period, 2-0 lead by UConn. Second period, they cut it in half, but the Icemen come out on top and get their first ever sweep in franchise history. Yet again, our 4th straight Western Conference Finals, this time up against the Chicago Blackhawks, who obviously have Connor Bedard. He's probably like a 96, 97 at this point in 2030. Outside of Bedsy, who's only a 93, their forward core looks pretty rough. They got Reichel on the third line. He could do some damage. I mean, it's overall decent, I guess. Defensively, they got Levshunov, Matheson, and Korchinski, who are decent. And in goal, they're rocking with an 87 overall, Philip Gustafsson. Game number 1, we got home ice advantage yet again. First period, a 1-1 tie. Second period, still knotted up at 1. We are headed to overtime yet again. In the Western Conference Finals, Dylan Guenther will seal the deal in the first game. Thank you for that OT winner. Let's keep this momentum going, UConn. First period, we are down 2-0. Korchinski and Reichel. Second period, are we really going to get shut out? We tie it up and we head to OT. A third period comeback. Can we complete it, please? Come on, UConn. No! Ilya Mikheyev will knot this series up at 1 apiece. Series has made the switch to Chicago for game number 3. First period, a 1-1 tie. Second period, oh my god, down by a pair again. And the Blackhawks are going to win 2 in a row over UConn. All right, this is a very pivotal game number 4. First period, 1-1 tie. P. Shorzy gets us going. Second period, we got the lead by 1. Lundell and Romanov. I messed with my lineup a little bit. Some players weren't playing good. Some were playing better than others. Yanni Gourde had like 7 points, or actually no, 11 points playing on the fourth line. So he's going to be playing a lot more minutes. We are just giving up power plays left, right, and center. Dear God, 5 minutes to go. Can Pekka pass to shut the door? Can we tie this series up at 2? Yes, we will. Game 5 back at home in UConn. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Shorzy. Second period, 2-0 lead. And we will go up 3-2 with the chance to head to our 4th straight Stanley Cup Finals. Game 6 in Chicago. They're fighting for their playoff lives. First period, a 1-1 tie. Second period, all knotted up at 2. Power play for Chicago here in the third period. Come on, kill that off. UConn is getting outshot 30-18 right now, but Thomas Harley will snipe one on Philip Gustafsson, giving the Icemen the lead in the third period, but Levshunov will tie things up at 3. We are in the clutch stages of this third period of game number 6. Elimination game for the Blackhawks. No way with 4 minutes to go, or like 2 minutes. I cannot believe it. We are not the type to give up a goal that late in the third, but the Blackhawks hold the lead. Call a timeout. No, we need to go all out right now. We actually might have to pull our goalie pretty shortly. Lucas Reichel coming in the zone. Come on, Romanov. Moves up to Hoglander. We need the first line to get out there. First line duties. Dump that in and go after it. Niels Hoglander, last guy to change. Out in front. Can we steal it? Come on, Yonkman. 49 seconds to go. Ilya Mikheyev the other way. He's just got to kill the clock for the Blackhawks right now. Reichel in the corner trying to walk out. Pekka Pass is going to poke check it. And the UConn Icemen have magic in a bottle here in the third period. Zane Parekh into the zone. Over to Yonkman. Over. Shorzy. What a save by the netminder and Gustafsson. He's getting board played again. P. Shorzy. There's nobody there. Where's our offense? Where's our forecheck? 25 seconds to go before we head to a game 7. They're going to dump it in deep. The good news is we'll have home ice in 7, but goddamn, that is a very risky play. Shorzy to Kemmel. Blasting one. It's going to go wide. Nobody has energy. 10 seconds to go. The Blackhawks are going to clear it out. They're going to dump it in deep, and it looks like the Icemen and Chicago are going to head to a do-or-die game number 7 back in UConn. UConn putting forth their undefeated Game 7 record. First period, 2-1 lead. We got Wright and Lundell. Second period, we hold a 1-goal advantage entering the third. Pekka Pasta needs... Yes! Anton Lundell on the power play extends it to 2. Power play for the Blackhawks. They don't get anything on it, though. Come on, UConn. Waste the time away. Our 4th straight finals in a row. Can we do it? 8 hard miles here in the third period. We are absolutely bombarding them with shots. 3 minutes to go. The UConn Icemen hold up a minute. 3 minutes. They make it a 1-goal game. Can we get out of it? Yes, we will. 7-0 in game 7s. And it is a 4th straight finals appearance. 4th finals in a row, and we're facing the Florida Panthers to tie the New York Islanders in Stanley Cups consecutively. All right, so this team is legit. Their first line of Reinhart, Barkov, and Kachuk, 2 95s and a 94. That's going to be tough to contain. They got Protas alongside Verhaeghe and Samoskevich. Their third line is okay. Fourth line kind of tapers off a little bit. Defensively, outside of Ekblad, they are totally trash. And in goal, they are busted, dude. Offensively, they're going to be able to score, but so should we. Let's outscore Florida and win our 4th in a row. Game number 1. We don't have home ice advantage, right? They won the President's Trophy this season, so these are the best 2 teams going at it. First period, 1-0 lead for the Panthers. Second period, they're up 2-1, and Florida will sell in the third, and we steal game number 1 on the road. Here we go. Game number 2. First period, we got a 2-2 tie. Might be a high-scoring series. I'm not going to lie. Their goalie's straight trash. Second period, 3-2 lead, and the Icemen will take both games in Florida and head back to UConn with a 2-0 series lead. We are now in UConn for game 3. First period, 1-0 lead for the Panthers. Second period, it is a 2-2 tie entering the third. We got ourselves a game, but Luke Yonkman on the power play will give us the lead. Another power play. Extend our lead. Come on, UConn. I knew Pekka Pasta was not going to not allow a goal for the entire third. Raphael Lavoie ties it up at 3, 8 minutes to go. Do the Icemen have another goal in them? We have 35 shots on net. Late stages of the third period. I'm going to trust my team to win this hockey game. Come on, UConn. Come on, go up 3-0. Go up 3-0. End the Florida Panthers' lives. No, Alexander Barkov will get the Panthers alive in this series. Game number 4, still in UConn. Can we go up 3-1? First period, a 3-0 lead. Yonkman, Shorzy, and Shorzy. Second period, it is 4-0, and the Icemen now have a chance in Florida to win their 4th cup in a row. Here we go, game 5, cup in the building in Florida. First period, 3-0 lead for the Icemen. Lundell, Shorzy, and Gregg. Second period, 5-0 lead as we are stomping all over the Cats. And it looks like it's going to be UConn in 5. Well, with 35 seconds to go, a 7-1 lead in the third period of game number 5. The UConn Icemen, I think they might have just cemented themselves as the greatest dynasty in NHL history. The UConn Icemen will match the 80s Islanders, winning their 4th Stanley Cup in a row. That is 16 straight playoff series wins. 4 in a row in the modern era is literally unheard of. We've only been a franchise for, what, 6 seasons, 7 years in the league, and we have 4 Stanley Cups? Shorzy, Wright, Yonkman, Parekh, Harley, Pekka Pasta. Everybody is just so goddamn good on this team. We're the best offensive team, the best defensive team, the best goaltending team, and P. Shorzy in the record books. 24 goals, 42 points in the postseason, matching Connor McDavid. That is a playoff run that literally everybody will remember. It's almost as if P. Shorzy is getting sick of coming up and winning the Stanley Cup for the 4th season in a row. The UConn Icemen are your Stanley Cup champions. Shorzy had by far and away the best playoff run by any Iceman ever. 24 goals, 42 points. One of the best postseason runs of all time. Zane Parekh had 33 points in the playoffs. Yonkman had 14 and 29. Shane Wright had 26. Ridley Gregg had 22. Gunther 21. Kemmel had 15. Look how many players were scoring on our roster. And then Pekka Pasta, he did his job, a 9-15 with 1 shutout and 16 victories. Mitch Marner is going to win the Ted Lindsay, the Art Ross and Hart Trophy. Leon, the Maurice Richard. Zane Parekh is going to win his 3rd Norris in a row. Shorzy is going to win his 2nd Conn Smythe. Pekka Pasta with his 3rd Vezina. And for the Selke, that is going to go to Robert Thomas. So here we are at the NHL draft. Thomas Harley, we're not going to be able to re-sign him. The dude wants like $14 million, and we got to get back Luke Yonkman. So I'm going to trade him for Lacombe from Detroit. I threw in a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and a 4th round pick, and it's an absolute no-brainer as the Detroit Dead Wings just absolutely got fleeced. Another fleece that I'm going to try to do is Porter Martone from the New York Islanders for Joakim Kemmel. This guy's probably another guy we're not going to be able to re-sign. We're very cap restraint right now. So we got him, Ennis, a 5th, 6th, and a 2nd, and they have rejected the offer. So more than likely, if I want Porter Martone, I'm going to have to add in a 1st round pick, and I'm going to do so. A 1st and a 4th rounder into the trade to make it go through. They are totally unwilling. Year number 7, here we are, 4 Stanley Cups later, and this team is still absolutely lethal. Shorzy, Yonkman, and Gunther yet again. We got Kemmel alongside Wright and Voronikov, who we signed in free agency. Another guy we signed was Nick Schmaltz. We got Anton Lundell, who's an 87 overall, alongside Jack Quinn. Our 4th line is kind of cooked, I'm not going to lie. Defensively, though, I'm glad we got rid of Harley for Lacombe. We actually got something back instead. Samuelson will play alongside him. We got J.J. Moser and Alexander Romanov. And somehow Pekka Pasta went down to a 94 overall. He's won 3 Vezinas in a row. I don't really understand that a lot. The 4 in a row Stanley Cup champs start the season 23-3-2. If that isn't a cause for concern concern for the rest of the NHL, I truly do not know what is. This team is something else. Cruise control indeed. 44-6-3. We're almost at the trade deadline, and it looks like we might make more NHL history. This has got to be the craziest thing I've ever seen. Zane Parekh is leading this squad in scoring 113 points in 62 games. He's going to have well over 100 apples. Shorzy himself has 102. Yonkman has 95. Shane Wright has 88. Like Dylan Guenther, 87. We could have like up to 5 100-point scorers on our team at the end of the season. We hold on to the top 3 scorers in the National Hockey League right now at 113, 102, and 95. Here we are at the end of the season with a potential to break the all-time wins record in the final game. Game 82 out of 82. Will we beat the Buffalo Sabres? Yes, we will. The greatest year of all time is only fitting for the greatest franchise of all time. 66, 11, and 5, 137 points. That will never be broken. Chicago themselves, they won 61 games. Winnipeg won 57. New Jersey was up there, and Florida is in the top 5. The greatest offense of all time. Zane Parekh, 142 points. Shorzy had 64 goals, 140 points. Luke Yonkman had 124. Shane Wright is a 120-point player, and Dylan Guenther 40 goals and 115 himself. This top 5 right here absolutely carried us offensively. Not to mention, we had the best goaltender in the world also, 57, 9, and 4 with 7 shutouts and a 918 save percentage. Zane Parekh had a Hart Trophy level season, leading the league in scoring. On the goal side, it would be Matthews having 2 more than Shorzy at 66. But if we look at the point totals here, we got first place, second place, fourth place. Shane Wright is up there also, and we had another 100-point score. Ekapasta obviously broke the win record by far, 57 wins. He had 7 shutouts, led in that category as well. He's going to win his 4th straight Vezina trophy. I honestly feel bad for the Anaheim Ducks as they're going to have to play us in the very first round of the postseason as we look towards a potential 5th consecutive Stanley Cup. Here we go. Game number 1, fresh off of the best regular season of all time. First period, no score in the hockey game. Second period, Anaheim going to go up 1-0, and they're going to steal it as we got shut out by an 83 overall Carter Hart. Here we go. Game 2, we obviously got shut out in the first game. Still have yet to score a goal on Carter Hart. Second period, we got a 1-1 tie entering the third. I mean, our scoring honestly is surprising me and concerning me at the moment. But yes, sir, Dylan Guenther and Dylan Guenther again. Finally, our offense is waking up. We get a 3-1 lead in the third period, and we will beat Anaheim and tie the series up. Here we go in game number 3. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Zane Parekh. Second period, a 3-1 lead. And finally, even after a little bit of a barn burner, UConn will go up 2-1 in the series. Shorzy finally awoken in that third period. We can take a stranglehold on this series. First period, 4-0 lead. Finally, the offense is here, and Anaheim now, after a 9-2 defeat, have to face elimination. We can eliminate Anaheim in 5 games and take care of business. 2-0 lead after 1. Guenther and Quinn second period. It is a 3-1 lead, and UConn is headed to round number 2. We now move on to round number 2. Thankfully, we're not playing the Oilers yet again. We dominated them 4 years in a row. Instead, it's going to be the other half of Alberta in the Calgary Flames. Flames are still rolling out Gavin McKenna. He's now in his prime at a 95 overall. They got Zari and Coronado on the first line. Not bad at all. Second line, Hanzik, Sharangovich, and Myroshenko. Decent second line. Third line isn't anything special. They don't got a lot of depth defensively. Their decor is looking pretty slim. And in goal, they got a 90 overall Dustin Wolf, so they can compete in that department. Here we go in game number 1. P. Shorzy will open the scoring on Dustin Wolf. Second period, Calgary, they're going to respond. Gavin McKenna gets a pair, and they are going to steal it. UConn is not great in game number 1s. I've kind of noticed the trend as of late. All right, let's see if UConn can respond. First period, down 2-1 to the Flames. Zari and Farabee. Second period, it is a 3-1 deficit. Jake Wallman now 4-1. As Calgary is going to walk into UConn and steal the first 2 games, absolutely smacking us. This is a must-win on the road for UConn. First period, a 1-0 lead. Thank you, Voronikov. Second period, still a 1-0 game. A little bit of a cause for concern right now is our goal scoring, or lack thereof. We're not scoring at the same rate as we have in the past. It's only a 1-goal lead. Obviously, Dustin Wolf is a damn good goaltender at a 90 overall. But we cannot rely on us scoring 1-2 goals per game and trying to win another Stanley Cup. Late stages of the third period. UConn They will hold off and they will shut out the Flames in game number 3. All right, UConn, let's see if we can tie the series up. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Shorzy. Second period, up 3-2, and we will tie the series up at 2. The home team has yet to win a game in this series. I'm slightly concerned. First period, 3-0 lead for UConn. Second period, we are up 4-1, and now we have the opportunity to head back to the conference finals. Calgary's season is on the line here in Calgary. First period, they get a 1-0 lead. Second period, we tie it up. Thank you, Sugar Shane Wright. And all of a sudden, we are walking down the Calgary Flames in a tight game in the third period. Can somebody step up and can somebody take the lead in this hockey game? 5 minutes to go here in the third. We are still knotted up at 1. Late stages now. It's pretty much game-winning goal territory. Here we go. Game 6 overtime. Season on the line for the Flames. All it takes is one shot here in the middle. Lacombe. Oh my God. Lacombe almost had the game winner. One of the newest additions. We traded Thomas Harley for him. Oh no, Coronado the other way. A 2-on-1 forming. Coronado centering it. Nice defensive play out in front. Shane Wright, you got to get it out. Over to Lacombe. Here we go, UConn. We got to get it. We got to march up that ice. Moves it on over. Yonkman coming in. Yonkman with a shot. Nice save by Dustin Wolf. Shane Wright getting board played in the corner. He's going to play it down low. Luke Yonkman again. He's trying to come out. Gunther tries to take the shot. Come on, forecheck's got to be there. Weegar. Mackenzie Weegar is still on the Calgary Flames all these years later. Shot. Nice save by Pekka Pasta. The dude is an absolute towering beast between the pipes. We're going to throw the second line out there on the ice. Voronikov. Get into the zone and just rip one on net. There we go. Get in there. Get in deep. Bang bodies. Pound their D so when game 7 hits, they got nothing left. Fogle the other way. He's going to turn it over. Bowen Byram coming into the zone. Moves it on over. Kemmel. Shot. It gets blocked by the Calgary defenseman. 13-10 remaining here in the first OT. Flames trying to force a game 7, but do they really want to do that? I mean, UConn is what? 6-0, 7-0 in game 7s, I believe. We have never lost. 7-0 record. Yonkman. He's got no energy. He's still out there. Luke Yonkman. Going behind the net. Yonkman again. Centering it. Lundell. Shot. Nice save there by Dustin Wolf yet again. We are all over them. We got full pressure. Do not let them out of the zone. Please do not let them out of the zone. Warren Fogle coming in for Calgary. He's going to stop up. He's going to, honestly, nice play. Never mind. 9 minutes to go here in overtime, and yet we have, oh my God, what a stretch pass up the middle. What were we thinking? Where's our forecheck at? As Calgary is going to dump that puck deep. We got J.J. Moser going back after it. Moser is going to skate that puck up. He's been a part of every single cup run. We've basically held together the same exact team for the last 4 years in a row. Only slight changes here and there. Yonkman wins that puck battle, but he doesn't get the puck. He just decides to what? I don't know, go missionary or... Oh, no. Bankier coming in the zone. Stopping up into the middle. Nice defensive play. Bowen Byram. Our first line is dead tired. Yonkman is still out there. Luke over. Quinn. Nice save by Wolf. Oh my God, UConn was so close to headed to their 5th straight conference finals. I can feel it. It's on the horizon. Luke Yonkman walking in. Yonkman and Dustin Wolf's going to make the glove save. How is that not offside? He's going to move it up. Mershrenko coming in. Nice defensive play yet again. Schmaltz over to Lacombe. Lacombe, where is he going? He moves it up. Oh my God, what is going on right now? The computer AI are just struggling to get anything going. All forward lines are absolutely gassed. I mean, Yonkman was out there for about 10 minutes in a row. Mashrenko, he's feeding to the middle. Sharangovich, nice save by Pasta. Get it out, Parekh. Zane Parekh, I need you to cook here, buddy. You've been a very big piece of this dynasty. I need that to continue. Wallman trying to blast him from the point. Nice pressure there by Voronikov. I was going to say forecheck, but it's not really a forecheck. He was defending. Voronikov, go. Here we go. Jack Quinn the other way. 2-on-1 forming. 2-on-1 Quinn coming in. Shot. Saved by Wolf. There's a rebound. He's down. We couldn't get a handle on it, though. 40 shots on goal, and only 1 went in so far. Dustin Wolf is the only reason this series has gone 7. Romanov taking a shot. Wolf again laying on his ass, but he makes the save. We got 20 seconds remaining in overtime number 1. Here comes Calgary the other way. They're going to come in. They're going to take a shot. Pekka with the save, and he's going to cover that up. Yonkman again, the best face-off taker in the entire league. I think he's got like a 99 face-off rating. Shane Wright in the middle. Yonkman walking down Main Street, and there it is. Luke Yonkman will send the UConn Icemen back to the conference finals for the 5th consecutive season. The best 2 teams in the Western Conference will square off: the 66-win UConn Icemen and the 57-win Winnipeg Jets. The Jets actually have a very good first line. 94 Connor is great. 93 Nick Suzuki is very good. Nikolai Ehlers kind of trailing off at 35 years old, but the rest of that forward core is non-existent. Defensively, though, they got Hughes and Morrissey, a 97 and 87, and in goal, Connor Hellebuck he is completely and utterly washed. Somehow this forward core of Winnipeg is scoring 4 goals per game. Literally the best in the NHL right now in the postseason. Up 3-2 in game number 1, 4-3 headed into the third period, and UConn will protect home ice and beat Winnipeg 6-3. Let's see if we can protect home ice yet again. First period, 2-1 lead for the Jets. Second period, they are going to explode on Pekka Pasta, and they are going to get a split out of UConn. We now move on to Winnipeg for game number 3, 2-0 lead after 1 Yonkman and Shorzy. Second period, still a 2-0 lead, and we will shut out Winnipeg in game number 3. The Icemen can really take a stranglehold on this series, go up 3-1. First period, Dylan Guenther gets us on the board. Second period, it is a 3-1 advantage, and Winnipeg in the third. Kyle Connor gets a pair, and we are headed to overtime. Come on, UConn. You guys know what to do. Can you end it? Can you go up 3-1? A power play for Winnipeg. Can we kill it off, please? We kill it off. No, power play. Yes! P. Shorzy, overtime winner, and we go up 3-1. We can continue our dominance and head to our 5th consecutive finals with a W here in UConn. First period, 1-0 lead. Guenther gets us going. Second period, it is all knotted up at 2. All right, we got ourselves a game. Winnipeg's not going to go down without a fight. They tied it up. Power play for UConn. Don't get anything on it. Power play for Winnipeg. Thankfully, we kill it off. Come on, UConn. We have it. There it is. Sugar Shane Wright gives us the lead. Late stages of the third period. And Pekka Pasta, I have full confidence that you are shutting the door as the Icemen will go back to the Stanley Cup Finals. And now in the Stanley Cup Finals, we shall play the New Jersey Devils as we try to 5-peat in the modern NHL. So the Devils do have a 96 overall Jack Hughes, so he's basically equal to Shorzy and Yonkman. Jesper Bratt's a damn good player. Nico Hischier on that second line is good, kind of spaces out the offense. They got a good top 6, but their bottom 6 is nothing special. Defensively, Nemec's a 91, Siegenthaler an 87. They got Luke Hughes, who hasn't really developed that much, to be honest. And in goal, I mean, Joseph Wall at an 84 overall. That should not be able to cut it whatsoever, especially against us. Here we go. Stanley Cup Finals game number 1. 2-0 lead for the Devils right off the rip. Second period down 2-0. And there it is again. The game 1 woes of the UConn Icemen. I guess you play so much playoff hockey. Game 1s probably are more so a feel-out game. Let's see if the Icemen can respond in game number 2. 1-0 lead after 1. Second period. There we go. The offense has awoken. Game number 3. We are now in New Jersey. First period, no score. Second period, a 2-0 lead for the Devils yet again. That is not good. UConn, there we go. Lacombe gets us on the board. Can we have a comeback victory in game number 3? Power play for the Icemen, and Dylan Guenther will score it on the PP. And then Shane Wright, 3 unanswered for UConn, 4 unanswered. Somebody got to stop the bleeding as UConn goes 5 straight in the third period and will go up 2-1 in the Cup Finals. Perfect opportunity for us to go up 3-1 in the series. First period, a 1-1 tie. Second period, we are down by 2. So we are going to need another comeback here in the third. Otherwise, the Devils more than likely are going to tie this series up at 2. They're out shooting us. They're outscoring us. Late stages of the third period, they're going to get a power play. Are they going to score? No. UConn's offense is kind of a little bit run dry right now as the series has become a best of 3 despite the fact that we made it a game near the end. Pivotal game number 5 here in UConn. First period, we get a 1-1 split. Second period, it's all tied up at 3. The Devils have been playing us tight, but P. Shorzy gives us the lead in the third. I need Pekka Pasta to shut the goddamn door. He needs to have one of his best performances of his lifetime right now. New Jersey is pressing, never mind. Power play marker on Pekka Pasta. Another power play. Or can we stay disciplined right now, UConn? What the hell are we doing? Another power play for New Jersey. That is 3 in the third period, and the Devils now, barring a comeback in the third period, they have a chance on home ice to win the Stanley Cup. Stanley Cup in the building, season on the line. First period, 2-0 lead for UConn. Veronikov and P. Shorzy. Second period, a 3-1 advantage, and there we go. We are headed back to UConn for a Game 7 where the Stanley Cup will be presented. Game 7, Stanley Cup Finals. Here we go. First period, no score in the hockey game. We only got 9 shots on goal. Second period, it is a 2-2 tie. Oh my, the nerves are getting to me now. No, Timo Meier scores to give the Devils the lead. Come on, UConn, you guys have to respond. There is no way. You guys have to respond right now. We are halfway through the third. Down by a goal. UConn is struggling to find their offense yet again. Game 7, late stages of the third period. And UConn right now, we got 4:11 to go in the third. Only down by a goal, so it's definitely doable. Let's see what we can do. Full attack. Coming in for Veronikov. Veronikov shot. Joseph Wall with a save. Let's get our first liners out there on the ice right now, please. 3:29 left to go. Offensive zone draw. Yonkman wins it. Parekh shot. It's going to get blocked. We got full pressure, though. We got full pressure. Joseph Wall is forced to cover it up yet again. Timo Meier and Nico Hischier. They have the most hits in the postseason so far. Luke Yonkman, you are a 99 overall faceoff taker. You got to win this one, buddy. Yonkman, he's going to... Oh my God, Dylan Gunther almost had one there. Timo Meier the other way. 2:20 left to go. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull my goalie. I don't think that's going to be an option. Meier into the zone. Over Brad. Pekka Pasta is forced to cover it up, so we got a defensive zone draw. 1:35 left to go. Yonkman wins it. Here comes UConn the other way. We got the Game 7 jerseys on, by the way. Dylan Gunther into the zone, trying to sauce it over. Gunther still has it. He loses it, though. Oh, we just wasted so much time in the game. New Jersey's going to dump it in deep. 50 seconds to go. Parekh is getting board played. Smart play by New Jersey. Yeah, oh my God. UConn is struggling to get it out right now. There we go. Up to Dylan Gunther. Dylan Gunther saucing it over to Parekh. Parekh into the zone. Parekh! Oh my, what a save by Joseph Wall. Unbelievable. 35 seconds the other way in a Game 7 where Hischier and the Devils, they have the advantage. They have the lead. Siegenthaler, Pekka Pasta makes the diving save. 25 to go. We got one final rush. Everybody is dead, though. All of them are dead tired. In the middle, Shane Wright. Do you have any magic? Right over Parekh. Save. Another one. Another great save. 16 seconds to go. Right back to the point. It's going to get blocked. Capo Caco the other way. That's going to do it. Oh my God. 10 seconds. They're going to dump it in deep. The UConn Icemen, for the first time in franchise history, they're not going to be able to win a Game 7. And instead, the Icemen, they are going to lose in the Stanley Cup Finals to the New Jersey Devils as they get it done, blocking our dynasty. We won 4 in a row. We tried for our 5th straight, and we just could not get it. We ran out of gas. We did not have enough offense. Despite not having offense, I mean, we did damn near have 4 30-point scorers. We had offense in bunches, but it felt like when we needed that goal, we just couldn't get it. Shoresy had 19 and 32, Yonkman with 30, Dylan Gunther 29. We did make it to a Game 7 in the Cup Finals, so honestly, you go that far, it can go either way. And Pekka Pasta, he was solid with a 9-17. Shoresy's going to win the Ted Lindsay, Matthews the Maurice Richard, Zane Parekh the Art Ross, the Hart Trophy will go to P. Shoresy, and Norris also to Parekh. Nico Hischier is going to win the Conn Smythe. Pekka Pasta with yet again another Vezina, and Robert Thomas will win the Selke. Unfortunately, this is the way the business goes. When we got to clear up cap space to sign our superstar in Yonkman, somebody has to go, and unfortunately, it's Dylan Gunther. 2 years left on his deal for Belchis and Drummond from the Columbus Blue Jackets. 2 young guys that have term on their contracts. And there we go. A sweet proposal on our end. So on behalf of Columbus, I accept. Another guy I'm going to ship out of town is Lacombe. The dude makes too much money. We got to save some money here. So Luke Hughes, same overall, makes less, signed longer. I threw in draft picks to make this trade go through. And there we go. It has been accepted. It is Operation Get Younger here in UConn, as Byram is also going out the door for Cardwell, who is only 23 years old, signed longer than him, makes less money, threw in a 2nd, 4th, and a 5th just to make sure the trade goes through. And they are totally unwilling, so we're probably gonna have to give up a first. 2033 first round pick into the trade, and there we go. I doubt anybody will think San Jose came out of the short end of the stick, as we just got a whole lot younger and maybe arguably better. Well, Luke Yonkman got qualified. $21 million by the Montreal Canadiens. That is absurd, dude. Why does he not just want to stay in UConn? You had so much success here. Nonetheless, I'm going to try to trade him. I don't even know if this is physically possible, if they're going to stop me because he got qualified. But Luke Yonkman, Jack Quinn, a 7th and a 6th for Gavin McKenna from Calgary. And there we go. The league will kibosh this deal. Luke Yonkman has outstanding offer sheet and cannot be traded right now. There it is. The Montreal Canadiens gave Luke Yonkman $21 million for 6 goddamn seasons. I don't have the cap space to match it. I couldn't clear up enough cap space to goddamn match it. I'm still like 7-8 mil behind, so I got to take the 4 first-round picks. And unfortunately, Yonkman's time in UConn is indeed over. Operation Save the Franchise. Frondell's an RFA, but we have the money to sign him as long as we trade for him. So I'm giving up one of the Montreal first rounders for Anton Frondell. And okay, they can live with it, which means we got to sweeten the deal just a touch, adding a 2 second-round picks to the trade value. And there we go. Chicago said yes. After arguing with this guy the entirety of the offseason, he only signs for 1 year at like $5.4 million. Something like that, so he might be trade worthy at the midway point of next year. The Icemen roster definitely took a hit in the offseason, losing arguably our best player in Luke Yonkman. Now we're rolling out Wright, Frondell, and Shoresy on the first line, Quinn, Lundell, and Veronikov, Belchi alongside Shaw and Drummond, and then we got a 4th line full of bums. Defensively, luckily, we're still decent. Hughes and Perret can definitely cook on that first line D pair. We'll go Cardwell with Samuelson, and then JJ Moser and Alexander Romanov, and then Pekka Pasta at a 94 overall. Still looks damn good to me. Trying to add in a third line center, we got Tommy Wharton from the Anaheim Ducks, who signed for 2 years at a pretty cheap contract at $2.8 million. We're not barking up the wrong tree, but we're definitely going to have to add to this deal. So I will add in a third and a fourth round pick for Tommy Wharton from Anaheim. And there we go. It has gone through. I'm going to go after Brett Howden and Eetu Luostarinen from the Winnipeg Jets. Two guys that don't make a lot can definitely fill out our depth pieces. We're going to throw in the Montreal first rounder to let this go through. And there we go. Consider it a done deal. Frondell is a guy that probably I'm not going to bring back next season. And I got his replacement, a guy who's as good as him. He's way younger, signed long-term, 1-for-1. Okay, they're totally unwilling. We might have to add in a first-round draft pick to make this trade go through. So we will add a 2036 first rounder, add in 2/4 also to the trade, and Pow now is a member of the Yukon Icemen. Despite all the changes and the complete overhaul in the offseason, Yukon is still going to have a great year. 54, 22, and 6, 114 points, second in our division. Edmonton was the best, and we were a top 3 team in the entire league. As Chicago and Edmonton, the only ones that were better. P. Shorzy did his thing yet again. 57 goals, 121 points. Zane Parekh again. I mean, this is like 4 years in a row having like 110 points apiece. As a defenseman, Shane Wright, a career high in goals with 43. I gave him that goal, and he took a boatload of shots. Lundell was decent. Drummond was okay. These are all like secondary scorers who just helped us out along the way. And Pekka Pasta had a 910 save percentage, 3 shutouts, and 53 victories. Connor McDavid at age 35 is still kicking it, 137 points, leading the way in scoring for the NHL. And Luke Yonkman, dear God, he went out, signed with Montreal, absolutely carried them, and the dude had a 73-goal season. Oh, I'm just gonna sit in my bed, eat ice cream, and just cry for the rest of the time. And now, in round number 1, we are gonna play the Vancouver Canucks and try to go to our 6th consecutive Stanley Cup Finals. In the year 2032, the Canucks are still rolling out Pettersson, Lekari-Maki, and Borkstrand. This forward core is tough. Outside of Elias Pettersson, it's bad. Sergachev's our best defenseman. We got him beat there, and we have the better goaltender by far. Our playoff run begins now. First period, a 3-1 lead after 1. Second period, we are dominating, and Yukon will win the first game of the series up against Vancouver. Game 2 is still in Yukon. First period, a 5-2 lead as the Icemen are straight up torching Vancouver 11-2 in game number 2. Here we go. The series has made the switch to Vancouver. Game number 3, obviously the Canucks are going to respond. And right now, where did our offense go? We scored 11 last game, 6 in game number 1, and right now we're getting shut out, and we would end up losing 4-2. So Vancouver, they're back in the series. Game 4, we can really take a stranglehold on this series. 2-1 after 1. Second period, a 6-1 lead, and there we go. Yukon back to dominating, and we're going to try to finish this series out in 5 games back on home ice. Here we go. Elimination game for the Nucks. First period, we get a 1-1 tie. Second period, we go up by 1, and the Yukon Icemen are off to the second round after gentlemen sweeping Vancouver. Here we go. We move on to face the Oilers yet again. I mean, we have straight up dominated Edmonton the last half decade, so if they upset us now, I mean, our time is definitely due to lose one, right? Round 2 up against the Edmonton Oilers. First period, we are down by 1. Second period, we will tie it up, and we are headed to overtime where the Oilers, Leon Draisaitl, will steal it for Edmonton. Not a must-win for Yukon, especially because we're on the road, but I'd like to get a split here at Edmonton. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, P. Shorzy. Second period, Edmonton's going to tie it up, and in the third, Yukon will come out on top thanks to Pow and Sugar Shane Wright. Back on home ice in Yukon. What can we do? First period, we're down by 1. Frank Nazar. Second period, Yukon's going to tie the game up, and we are headed to overtime yet again. The Yukon Icemen versus the Edmonton Oilers. Can we kill off the power play? We will, but Edmonton, Connor McDavid steps up when the team needs him the most. Pretty much a must-win for the Yukon Icemen here. Cannot fall down 3-1 to Edmonton. First period, no score in the hockey game. Second period, we are down by 1. Our goal scoring has completely evaporated as Edmonton looking to take a stranglehold on Yukon and put them to bed. It has been, what, 4 years in a row, maybe 5 seasons in a row that we beat the Edmonton Oilers. They are ready for the revenge. Oh my God, thank you, Pow. Late stages of the third will tie the game up. and we got to head to overtime yet again, the third time in this series. UConn, can we win it? No, Edmonton again. Frank Nazar will give the Oilers a 3-1 series lead. Elimination game for UConn in the second round. I don't think we've ever had that, or if we have had that happen to us, it was a long, long time ago. First period, 2-1 lead. There we go, right in Luosterainen. Second period, a 4-2 advantage. And there we go. The UConn Icemen will force a game number 6 back on home ice. Gonna keep the lineup the way it is. First period in UConn. 2-1 lead for Edmonton. Oh my God, Tara Tukin, I forgot. Do we even trade him to Edmonton? Regardless, he's on their team now. Second period, we are down by 1 in potentially our final period of hockey for the season. No, Harvey Pinard will extend the lead for the Oilers. UConn looks like they are running out of gas. 4-1 lead. It is over. The Edmonton Oilers, they are going to exact revenge, whatever the hell the saying is. They're going to get their revenge over UConn as they dominate them in 6 games. Individually, Zane Parekh was our best player. That cannot happen. P. Shorzy only had 16 points in 11 games, a big factor why our offense went absolutely nowhere in the second round. Shane Wright was okay, I guess. Lundell had 10 points. Jack Quinn, we didn't get a lot of offensive support. And between the pipes, Pekka Pasta was fine. It's not his fault that we ended up losing. The Chicago Blackhawks would end up dominating Toronto in 5 games as they go on and win the Stanley Cup. Finally, UConn's now participating in the Cup Finals. Artem Levshunov from the Chicago Blackhawks. The good news is we don't have anybody with contracts that are expiring, but I do want to try to improve this team because we went out in the second round. We got Romanov leaving and a first rounder going into the trade for Levshunov, who is better. He's got a similar salary cap as Romanov, and he signed longer than him. 1-for-1. Can we go through? They are totally unwilling. Definitely going to have to tweak the trade just a tad here. I'm probably going to add in a 6th, 7th, and another 7th round pick. I don't know if that's going to be enough. No, we're going to have to give them like a 2nd or a 3rd. Throw it all into the trade for Artem Levshunov, and again, totally unwilling. I don't think Chicago is going to budge. Instead, I'm going to see if the 27th overall pick from this draft and a 2037 first round pick will be enough for Levshunov. No, it is not. What if I throw in Romanov into this trade? Come on, Chicago. You guys are not contending for anything. Even though you already won the Stanley Cup, will you go? And there we go. We threw in Alexander Romanov, and Artem Levshunov is now a part of our decor. Not gonna lie, the moves I made in the offseason and the moves I made last year definitely are gonna help us out in the long run. Drummond, he got better. Powell got better. He's an 87 overall. Wright and Shorzy will join Drummond on that first line. Voronikov alongside Lundell and Powell. We got Quinn, Barzell, and Belchi. And then our fourth line honestly isn't bad outside of that 75 overall. Defensively, we're loaded yet again. We've been like the best defensive team in hockey for the last 7 years. And I don't think a lot is going to change. Pekka did go down by 1 overall to a 93, though. Here we are at the trade deadline, 41, 22, and 1. And we're going after Farabee. He's on the chopping block. You know what? I'm not even going to explain it before somebody ends up taking my guy. There we go. No-brainer from Boston. And we just bolstered our forward core. Yet again, a great regular season by UConn, 55, 26, and 1. We had 111 points, top of our division, and for the entire NHL, that is yet again another President's Trophy to our resume. I think Shorzy just went out and had his greatest season of all time. He was goal per game, 82 and 82, 143 points, straight up carrying the squad. No lies have been told. Zane Parekh had 90, Shane Wright with 87, Lundell 72. So outside of Shorzy, man, our offense was really not as good as previous seasons. And between the pipes, Pekka Pasta only had a 908 alongside 4 shutouts. And he also had 55 wins. Shorzy might have just had the most dominant season of all time, most points at 143 in the National Hockey League, and by far and away the most goals at 82. As I believe this is our first time playing the Vegas Golden LTIR Cheaters in the first round, or in fact, any round of the playoffs. First ever head-to-head matchup. Let's get that dub. Jack Eichel will be their best player at an 88. The rest of the forward core does not even lick our nutsack. Defensively, they do got a good D-man in Percy. And between the pipes, if we take a look, Joel Hofer, that is not going to be enough. If we lose this series, there has to be some serious changes made to UConn. Here we go. Game 1 of our first playoff run since losing the second round. First period, 2-1 lead. Second period, Vegas will respond. And in the third, we will respond. Shorzy, Wharton, and Matt Barzell. And we take game number 1. Game number 2, we're still going to have home ice advantage throughout the entirety of the postseason. But Vegas, they are going to respond in game 2. We get it to overtime. Come on, UConn. Seal the deal. Steal this game where we were down in it. The Yukon Icemen in overtime. They're not going to get it. What about double OT? No. Egan will score on Pekka Pasta, and Vegas has a series split. Here we go. The series has made the switch to Vegas. First period, we were up 2-1, 6-2 after 2, and there we go. Yukon will respond in Game 3. Game 4 in Vegas. First period, we are up by a pair. Samuelson and Drummond. Second period, 3-0 lead, and there we go. We take a dominating, commanding 3-1 series lead. Come on, Yukon. I haven't needed to make any changes during this series. Let's finish it out. 4-0 lead after 1, and Yukon yet again, they're moving on to the second round. It is going to be a rematch against Edmonton, a team that we have historically dominated us last year, and it's time for some sweet, sweet revenge. First period, 4-0 lead for Yukon. Second period, 8-0, and the Icemen will dominate in game number 1. Game 2, home ice advantage throughout the entirety of the postseason is definitely going to serve us well as we head to overtime. And again, what is going on with Yukon in the extra innings? Matt Savoy will tie the series up. The series now is in Edmonton. First period, a 1-1 tie. Second period, it is 5-2 for Yukon, and there we go. We will go up 2-1 in this series. We can really take a stranglehold on this series, but we got to respond here in game number 4. We are down by a goal in the third, a 3-2 hockey game, outshooting Edmonton 32-24. But again, we're only down by 1. We're not out of it yet. Come on. Where's Shorzy? No, Evan Bouchard on the power play. He pretty much puts it out of reach as the Oilers will tie the series up. A very pivotal Game 5 here in Yukon. First period, a 1-1 tie. Second period, 5-2 lead, and the Icemen head to Alberta with an opportunity to eliminate the Oilers. Game 6 in Edmonton. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Belchi. Second period, 3-1 lead, and the Icemen are headed back to the conference finals for the first time in 2 years. I mean, to be quite fair, 2 years is a pretty long time for this franchise to go without a conference final. The Final Four is set, and it's the Dallas Stars and Pete DeBoer in the Western Conference Finals. I will not lie, it's not even that bad of a roster. Rantanen's still a 92. They got Dylan Holloway at a 90. Robo's a 90. Homer and Johnston on the second line. They don't really have the depth, but like their top 6 is pretty good. Heiskanen is still a 93. The rest of the decor is kind of ass low-key. And Jake Ottinger, a 91 overall goaltender. Game 1 conference finals. Here we go. First period, Dallas gets on the board first. Wyatt Johnston is 3-1 to the Stars after the second. And there we go. Dallas will steal the first one on the road. Game 2, I need the Icemen to respond. First period, 1-1 tie. Second period, we are down by 1 yet again. Yukon's out shooting them 27-20, but Jake Ottinger playing very well. Power play for Yukon. We get nothing on it, though. Finally, Zane Parekh on a 5-on-3 will score, and then Samuelson on Jake Ottinger. 5 minutes to go in this third period. Can the Icemen hold on to take game number 2 away from the Dallas Stars? This is a big game number 3. Now in Dallas, first period, a 1-1 tie. We got Lundell scoring for us. Second period, Drummond will respond, and in the third, we are going to head to overtime yet again. We have lost like 5. That is 7 consecutive overtimes in the postseason that we have lost. A must win for Yukon here in game number 4. First period, 2-0 lead. Second period, 2-1 for the Stars. And there we go. Parekh and Powell in the third will seal the deal and will tie the series up. Game 5 in Yukon. Again, pretty much a must win. First period, no score in the game. Second period, a 2-2 tie entering the third. Who scored for us? We got Lundell and P. Shorzy. Come on. Yukon on the power play. Can we strike? Yes. Sugar, Shane Wright, and then Zane Powell, Zach Powell, one of the two. It doesn't even matter as the Icemen will punch their ticket, hopefully in game number 6 to the Stanley Cup Finals for the, 6th time in franchise history? A potential Cup Final berth on the horizon yet again for the Icemen. No score after the first period. Second period, 2-0 lead. Powell gets a pair, and the Icemen will shut out Dallas and head back to the Stanley Cup Finals. 2 years ago, we lost to the Devils in the Stanley Cup Finals. They handed us our only Game 7 loss in franchise history. Now, 2 years later, we are back, and we are looking for revenge. Again, we know the Devil squad is very, very good. Heischer, Hughes, and Bratt on the first line. The depth is not there, though. I think we got them beat outside of line number 1. Defensively, Nemec's their only good defenseman, and between the pipes, I mean, Joseph Wall at an 83 is not supposed to be good enough. Game number 1, Stanley Cup Finals. Here we go. First period, 2-0 lead. Quinn and Belchi. Second period, 3-2 lead, and the Icemen will take game number 1. Let's protect home ice here, UConn. First period, 1-1 tie. Second period, up 2-1, and the Icemen, they are going to lose it in the third, getting outscored 3-1 as the Devils will tie the series up. We are now in New Jersey for game number 3. First period, oh my god, the Devils are dominating and we are down 2-1. All right, this is a must win for UConn. Cannot fall down 3-1. No score after the first period. Our offense has just completely dried up. Second period, we got a 2-2 tie entering the third. New Jersey might have our number, man. They might just be the better team when it comes to these two franchises facing off against one another. We got to kill off that power play. We do. 7 minutes. There we go. Veronikov on the bum. That is Joseph Woll. Gives us the lead late stages of the third period. And the Icemen, they will tie. No! What the hell, man? Here we go. Overtime in game number 4. And this is the... we're shorthanded? Oh my god. We're shorthanded to start the overtime for 30 seconds. This is not good. Nico Hischier. He's into the zone. Down low to Hughes. Hughes over to Clefbaum. Back to the point. Shot, but a save by Pekka Pasta. Siegenthaler from the line. Pekka Pasta is going to make the save. Here we go. Cardwell. You got to move the puck the other way. North to south. Not a lot of east-west hockey, please. Shane Wright. Entering the zone, launches one on net, but a nice save by the netminder. Joseph Woll's only an 83. We should be able to beat him. Nico Hischier the other way. He dekes to the middle. Shoresy back in the back check. Shoresy getting board played himself. Gonna play that puck, buddy. Oh no, Hughes to Hischier. New Jersey is hard on that forecheck right now. Shoresy moves up to Cardwell. And here come the Icemen. Over to Powell. Powell into the zone, finding Shoresy. Can't get a shot on net though. Probably has the best shooting stats in the entire NHL right now. This series is one shot away from either a 3-1 series lead or a 2-2 tie, so we got to get the next one. Nemec over to Capo Caco in front. Perek was there. Good defending. Matt Barzal, I put him in our top 6. Hopefully he can get something going here. Matt Barzal just losing the puck. Over. Lundell rips a shot. Woll with the easy save. Not really a lot of mustard on that one. Where's our forecheck, dude? I got full forecheck right now, and nobody seemingly wants to go after the puck. We look like the Stars right now. Just no urgency. Over. Clefbaum in the middle. Nice. Samuelson. Get it out. Timo Meier. Back to Lacombe. Lacombe, former UConn Iceman, almost ended the hockey game. 11:07 left to go. Samuelson. He's going to skate that puck out. Moves up to Matty Barzal. Barzal deking. Barzal over. Drummond on the backhand. Nice save by Woll again. Barzal's getting board play. Come on. We got to move that puck. Matt Barzal still has it. Where's our offensive pressure, man? We got nothing right now. Like, absolutely nothing. Walking in, Pekka Pasta is going to glove it down, thank God. 8:51 left to go. Lacombe from the blue line. They got full pressure in the offensive zone. This is not looking great for UConn. Shane Wright, you got to get it out. Moves it up to Powell. Here come the Icemen the other way. UConn trying to deke into the middle. Shoresy has it. He takes a weak shot on his backhand. We've literally got not one single good chance in this overtime yet. And we are like 15 minutes into it. Powell, you got no energy. Let's throw on our second line back out there. Zane Perek. Moves over to Cardwell. Cardwell just puts a pizza up the middle. Doesn't ice the puck somehow, though. Barzal's in on it. Go, number 11. Get in there, buddy. Barzal over. Backhand. Rebound. Save again by Woll, and he will cover it up. 4:31 left to go here in overtime. Come on, UConn. We need to win this draw. We lose the draw, unfortunately. Nice forecheck there. Who is that? Who is number 22 on the forecheck right now? Bro is going hard. Capo Caco the other way for the Devils. Entering the zone. Caco, he's getting bodied. Nice job, Veronikov. He's going to play it back to our defenseman. Lev Shunov leading the rush. Over to Jack Quinn, who loses it. Man, I don't feel any magic with UConn right now. Turnover, though. Belchi the other way. Launches one. Saved by Woll on the pads. Again, in the middle shot. Jack Quinn can't shoot it. Why? Why could Jack Quinn just not get that shot off? Oscar Clefbaum over to Capo Caco. He's going to lose it to Lev Shunov. I think we get our second line out on the ice. Belchi into the zone, moves it over to Samuelson, over Lev Shunov. We got 2 defensemen into the play, into the rush, and we got 40 seconds to go in this third period. Let's Shunov over to Drummond. Drummond entering the zone, trying to do the Moe's, but he can't do any Mohawks when needed. 13 seconds to go. We win the draw. Powell, back to Cardwell, rips one. It's blocked. 10 seconds remaining in overtime. Perek over to Cardwell. It could not trickle in. What on earth is going on? Bobby Brink the other way. We're headed to double OT. Double overtime in the Stanley Cup Finals. Here we go. UConn, we have switched ends. Let's see what we can do, man. We got to tie the series up. We go down 3-1. we're pretty much as good as dead. Jack Hughes muscling his way to the net, but Pass is going to cover it up. He's a 96 overall. All the accolades in the entire world, and he can't do anything. Powell, where are you going? Oh, no, he's getting ran over. You got to get off the tracks when the train is coming through. Jesper Bratt moves it on over. Nico Hischier stopping up. Hischier, he's getting tag team. That could have been a breakaway. Go Shane Wright. Turn on the jet. Shane Wright has no jets. Takes the shot. Nice save by Wall. Shorzy. Spin and fire that, buddy. Just shoot one on net. I don't care where's it from. There it is. Levshunov, finally! Artem Levshunov will tie the series up at 2 apiece in the Stanley Cup Finals. Game 5 is a pivotal one back in UConn. First period, 2-1 lead. Shorzy and Drummond. Second period, New Jersey's going to tie it up. Man, I just do not feel a magic right now. Drummond, though, gives us the lead on Joseph Wall in the third period. I need Pekka Pass to the cook, dude. He's a 95 overall. Yes! Sugar Shane Wright extends the lead to 2, and the Icemen are 1 win away from their 5th Stanley Cup in franchise history. The cup is in the building. History on the line. First period, 1-0 lead for the Devils. Capo Caco. Second period, we do not respond. Uh-oh, the Devils are shutting us out right now. Joseph Wall has a shutout in this hockey game. He's going to have a shutout for the entirety of the game. Come on, UConn. Shutout, shutout, shutout. Somebody got to wake up. Somebody's got to score. Where's Shorzy? Where is Wright? Where is Howe? Where is Drummond? Where is any of our offensive support? We don't score a single. Yes! Pow! On Joseph Wall late in the third period. More overtime on our hands. Game 6 in New Jersey. The cup in the building, and only one team has the opportunity to win it. Into the zone. They're going to put it in deep. Shorzy's in after it. We're going to go full forecheck. P. Shorzy, get there, buddy. Attaboy, Shorzy. Shorzy waiting in the middle. Oh, my God. Who had the game on his stick? Was it Powell? I think Powell had the game on his stick. Jack Hughes the other way. Hughes moves over to Jesper Bratt. Can't get a shot off. Nice defending there by Zane Parekh. Cardwell, he's going to lose the puck as well. Come on, Cardwell. Good breakout pass. Up to P. Shorzy. Shorzy on that half wall. Shorzy's going to take a shot. There's a rebound. But New Jersey's going to clear the zone as we're making a change. There we go. Good change. Simone Nemec, he's going to go cross ice all the way over to Hughes. Back to Hischier. Nico Hischier blocks one with his own teammate, Matty Barzell. Here come UConn the other way. We got 38 shots on net, only 1 goal. Drummond, he's going to rip a shot. It's going to hit his own teammate. And right now, everybody's a little bit too jittery, a little bit nervous right now here in overtime. We got to calm down and be composed. Lacombe, no. Get it out. Pekka Pasta will cover it up. Thank God. Artem Levshunov has no energy whatsoever. We got to make a defensive zone change. Oh, no. We can't make a change. No, 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 no. No, please. Somebody gets back. Please tell me somebody's back. Thank God. The UConn Ice. Oh, no. Forchester the other way. Coming in. Pekka with a nice save. Get back, boys. Get back. New Jersey. They're going to get full pressure here shortly. They're going to get it very, very soon. Forchester shot. Pekka the save. 5:20 left to go. Uh-oh. They get full pressure, and they won the draw. Malinsky over to Morel. Morelli takes a shot. Pekka with the save, and here come the Icemen. Zane Parekh the other way. Over to P. Shorzy. Shorzy waiting. Back to Parekh. Parekh in the middle of Powell. To Shorzy. Taking the shot, and there it is. P. Shorzy with the golden goal. And the UConn Icemen are 5-time. I repeat, 5-time Stanley Cup champs. They get the revenge over 2 years ago against the Devils. We make another cup final. We win the Stanley Cup, and we are officially the greatest dynasty of all time. If it already wasn't a fact, 5 cups in 9 years, greatest franchise in the history of the NHL. Take a hike, Montreal Canadiens. I don't care how many cups you won in a 6-team era. We got Zane Parekh winning the Conn Smythe Trophy, 5 goals, 33 points. I believe this is actually his first of his career, and I'm not going to lie, I think this one might be the sweetest one. We won it on the road in New Jersey after losing to them in a Game 7 2 years ago. Obviously, last year didn't go our way. We were a second-round exit, but we responded. We retooled our team a little bit, and now the UConn Icemen, yet again, are Stanley Cup champions. Shorzy was dominant as per usual. 18 goals, 38 points. Parekh had 33. That won him the Conn Smythe. Shane Wright with 32. Barzell, look at that free agent signing, man. It paid off in the end. Zane Powell had 22 and 10 goals. Lundell with 21. We were just a loaded offense. And Pekka Pasta, 911 save percentage. He showed up when the team needed him to the most. It will be a clean sweep on all the major individual awards for P. Shorzy. We got Cale Makar stealing the Norris away from Zane Parekh, but he did win the Conn Smythe. Lapalainen is going to win the Vezina Trophy, and the Selke will go to Toskala. We are definitely nearing the end here with UConn. We're running back essentially the same roster that we just won the Stanley Cup with. We got Shorzy, Wright, and Drummond on the first line. Powell alongside Barzell and Lundell. Farabee, Wharton, and Jordan Dume, who I signed in the offseason. And then to round out our forward core, we got Quinn, Howden, and Belchis. Our D core is going to remain the same. It's been pretty similar basically since the beginning. We got Cardwell and Parekh, who now is a 94 overall. Lev Shunoff alongside Samuelson, and then Moser and Luke Hughes. And Pekka Pasta in the prime of his career. He's only 25 years of age, 95 overall, and the man is probably the most accomplished goaltender in NHL history. We are going all in for yet again another Stanley Cup. Caden Lindstrom most definitely will be a rental. We're throwing in Montreal's first rounder, a 7th and a 6th overall pick, or 6th round pick, I should say, from UConn. And there we go. They feel guilty for saying yes to the deal. But once we win the Stanley Cup, I don't think they'll be thinking that again. UConn is still going to be a regular season juggernaut. We won 56 games at the top of the Pacific Division yet again. And we are going to go on and win, I believe, our 5th President's Trophy in franchise history. P. Shorzy, I mean, the dude is in his prime now. He's 27 years old, 75 goals, 147 points. Shane Wright had 111. We got Zane Parekh with 104. Anton Lundell had 66. Lev Shunoff as a defenseman, man. Our defense produces a boatload of points, and that's probably why we were such a good hockey team. And Pekka Pasta, 55, 16, and 9. 6 shutouts with a 912 save percentage while playing the entire year. P. Shorzy is going to lead the league in scoring, 147 points. He's the best player in the world, and he led in goals with 75. As Luke Yonkman now on Le Montreal. He's putting up a lot of points, but he's not winning a lot of hockey games. In the postseason, he only played 8 games. For reference, his entire career before that, he's played at least 20 in the postseason every single year. And now our playoff run trying to go back-to-back begins in the first round up against the Colorado Avalanche. And I gotta be honest, I have absolutely no clue who is on this roster at this point in 2034. So, being honest here about Colorado, they do got Nathan MacKinnon, not a superstar anymore, only an 86 overall. The best forward is an 88, so I think our forward core definitely clears them defensively. Cale Makar is still a 97 overall, so that is going to have a big impact. But at the end of the day, an 80 overall starter, I think, is going to get lit up like a Christmas tree. Here we go. Game 1, round 1. First period, down by 1. Second period, we will respond, and the UConn Icemen will take game number 1 over Colorado. UConn, again, going to have a home ice advantage throughout the entirety of the postseason. As game number 2, we are going to face an L 2-1 to Colorado, a 2-1 defeat. They had 41 shots on goal, and our offense was nowhere to be found. The series has made the switch to Colorado. First period, down by 1. Is Nathan MacKinnon going to take an absolute dump on us this series? Second period, we will tie the game up, and we are headed to overtime. Dating back to last season, we literally do not win in overtime. I don't know what it is. Cale Makar, give the Avalanche a lead in this series. Game 3, I rearranged my lineup a little bit. Hopefully, a spark of our offense. First period, there it is, 2-0 lead. Second period, 4-1, and the Icemen will tie the series up at 2. Let's keep that momentum rolling, UConn. Back on home ice. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Shorzy. 4-0 after 40, and the Icemen now have the opportunity to eliminate Colorado in the first round. Elimination time for Colorado in Ball Arena. First period, a 1-1 tie. Second period, all knotted up at 2. Come on, UConn. We need some offense to be sparked here. All we need, honestly, is a goal or two, but we're taking a lot of penalties. Thankfully, we're killing them off. Another power play for Colorado. They're going to end up scoring on one of them. Then P. Shorzy, an absolute ball breaker, followed by Anton Lundell. 3 minutes to go in the third period, and for 7-8 years in a row, the UConn Icemen will win at least one playoff series in the postseason. We now move on to play Calgary, who I believe actually beat us a few seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe they didn't. I just remember playing them, and they actually gave us a very tough series, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so this top 6 is really nice. They got Coronado alongside Toskala and Gavin McKenna on that first line, followed by Rutger McGroarty, Connor Zary, and Josh Doan. That is a very good top 6. The problem is the bottom 6 is kind of lacking. Defensively, we definitely got them beat there, but in goal, Igor Shesterkin at a 94 overall, 38 years of age. I don't think he's going to be able to stop a beach ball, but these guys are going to be able to put that puck in the back of the net. Game number 1 in UConn, first period, and there it is. I said the team would be able to score. We kind of respond in the second, but Calgary is going to take game number 1, 5-4. The Flames are also undefeated in the postseason, trying to take a stranglehold on this series. First period, 2-0 lead for UConn. Second period, 3-0, and there we go. We shut them out in game number 2. First period in Calgary, game 3, 1-0 lead thanks to Schneider. Second period, we are down by 1. We tie it up, but we head to overtime where we literally do not win anymore. Finally, Matthew Barzal breaks the curse, and we go up 2-1 in the series. We can really take a stranglehold on this series. We win this hockey game. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you to Zane Powell. Second period, 4-0 lead, and the Flames offense has absolutely evaporated as UConn goes up 3-1. Come on, UConn. On home ice, we can eliminate Calgary. First period, 5-1 lead after the first. So long, and see you later, Calgary. We now play the Kings of round number 3 in the Dallas Stars, but obviously they usually lose in the conference finals as UConn tries to head back to the Cup finals yet again. Oh my, how the hell did the Dallas Stars get Macklin Celebrini? 96 overall. They got Robo and Johnston alongside of him. Dylan Holloway's a 90. Ross Colton, that's a pretty lethal top 6, and they even got an 88 on the third line. Miro Heiskanen still doing his thing at a 93 overall. The rest of the D-core is pretty rough, and defensively, or should I say in goal, Jake Oncher's a 90, so he is going to somewhat compete with Pekka Pasta. Conference finals, here we go. First period, 1-0 lead for UConn. Second period, oh my, the Stars will respond, and they are going to steal game number 1, 5-4 over the Icemen. Game 2 is somewhat of a must-win. First period, down by 2, not looking too great. Second period, a 3-1 lead, and the Stars, they're going to completely steal home ice advantage. Our backs are against the wall in Game 3 in Dallas. First period, 1-0 lead for UConn. Jordan Dume. Second period, a 2-1 lead for the Icemen. But we are headed to overtime. We can't lose this one. Come on, UConn. 40 shots on net. Can we bury them? Yes! Drummond will get us our first victory in this series. Game 4, a potential tie series or a 3-1 series lead headed back to UConn. First period, 2-0 lead. Quinn and Dume. Second period, 5-2 lead, and the Icemen are right back in this series. Let's win our third in a row. Go up 3-2. First period, 1-0 lead. Thank you, Drummond. Second period, 2-0 lead for the Icemen, and we shut out the Dallas Stars. A potential Cup final berth is on the line in game number 6 in Dallas. Come on, UConn. We have a potential Cup final berth on the horizon. 1-0 lead. Drummond has been amazing since putting him on that first line. Second period, still a 1-0 lead. Wow, the Stars respond in the third period. 4 unanswered. And we are going to have a Game 7. Game 7, conference finals, first period, 2-0 lead for the Dallas Stars. Why did I simulate once they got a power play? Second period, can we respond? 4-0 lead. The Icemen are out of this one. I don't really know what to say. We were 7-1 in franchise history in Game 7s. And now in the conference finals, unfortunately, the Stars are going to get the best of us. And they are going to head to the Stanley Cup finals. The Leafs are finally going to get it done as they end up beating Dallas in 6 games in the Stanley Cup finals to win the Stanley Cup. Honestly, Shoresy wasn't even at his best during this playoff run. Only 16 goals and 25 points in 18 games played. I expected a little bit better out of him. Zane Parekh at 24 points. That's honestly pretty good. Lundell was good. Shane Wright. Look at Drummond. I probably should have left him on that first line throughout the entirety of the playoff run. He had 11 goals in 18 games. And for Pekka Pasta, 926 save percentage, he was lights out. Another clean sweep in all the major individual awards for P. Shoresy. We got Zane Parekh winning yet again another Norris. Matthews, the Conn Smythe. Pekka Pasta, another Vezina. And for the Selke, it is going to go to Macklin Celebrini. Here we are at the draft, and we're trying to move some assets to bring some in. We got Perfetti and Panay for Lidstrom and Belchis from UConn. 2 for 2. They are totally unwilling, so instead, try to sweeten the deal just a little bit here with Lidstrom and Belchis, throwing a second and a 4th round pick, and there we go. The transaction has gone through. John Cooper damn near walked in the offseason. Luckily, we brought back the GOAT, the greatest head coach of all time, John Cooper himself. himself is back with UConn. So here we are, the grand finale, the final season in UConn franchise history, 10th and final year, and you can make the argument this is our worst forward core that we have ever had, but we are still going to contend for a Stanley Cup. Shorzy, Wright, and Drummond, Powell alongside Cole Perfetti and Farabee. We got Quinn, Wharton, and Jordan Dume. Branstad Nygaard, we picked him up. He's only an 83. Our fourth line is looking a little bit rough. Luckily, defensively, we're still very good. Parek's a 94 overall, and Pekka Pasta quite literally has never been better at a 96. The final trade deadline is here. We're going after Cole Sillinger, who somehow only makes $3.1 million. We're going to give up a first, second, and a second because this is the final season, and there we go. Easy trade to make, and we just upgraded our forward core. We're going to finish our franchise with not missing the playoffs, not a single season. 58, 16, and 8, 124 points on the year. Outside of the first two seasons, we were a 100-point team, and yet again, we are going to win the President's Trophy. Shorzy takes a slight step back production-wise. I mean, he did carry our team, and obviously our team got a little bit worse, so it was expected. 66 goals, 115 points. Shane Wright only had 84. Parek went way down to 78. Maybe a reason for this was that I did not set my season goals at the beginning of the year. And for Pekka Pasta, the dude had a 922, 5 shutouts, and 58 wins. Our final playoff run in UConn franchise history will be starting against the Minnesota Wild in round number 1. Their top line of Boldy, Rossi, and Waugh is not that bad, 91, 90, and 89, but their depth isn't really there. I think, honestly, our forward core is slightly better defensively. Brock Faber's nice as an 88 overall. They also have David Juracek at an 88, and between the pipes, they got a serviceable goaltender in Jesper Wallstedt, also at an 88 overall. Here we go. The final playoff run begins now. First period, 2-0 lead. Second period, still a 2-0 lead, and UConn will shut out the Wild in game number 1. Game 2, we can take a stranglehold, go up 2-0, 1-0 after 1. It's all tied up at 3 after 40, and in the third period, UConn will come out on top. Perfetti and P. Shorzy. Game 3, first period, did not go our way. We got Ogren and Dellandrea scoring, and we're down by 2. Second period, we cut the lead in half, and UConn, they make it to overtime, but they end up losing, and Minnesota gets right back in this series. Come on, UConn. All we need is one of these games. First period, 1-1 tie. Second period, oh my, we got absolutely feasted on. Series is all knotted up, heading into game number 5. First period, 1-0 lead for UConn. Sugar Shane Wright gets us on the board. Second period, still a 1-0 lead, and we are headed to overtime yet again. The Icemen and the Wild, and Minnesota takes it. They win their third in a row, and this could be an absolute disaster for UConn. Game 6, here we go. Our season is on the line. First period, 1-1 tie. We got Cole Sillinger scoring on Jesper Wallstedt. Second period, we are down by 1. Will the Icemen, for the first time in franchise history, lose in the first round of the playoffs? We're down by 2 in the third period, down by 3. It is over. The dynasty of UConn has officially ended in the first round up against the Minnesota Wild, as we were never a first round exit. But in the 10th and final season, unfortunately, the Icemen, they just did not have enough to get the job done. We had a 2-0 series lead, and we lost 4 in a row. Drummond in back-to-back seasons was probably our best player. 4 goals, 8 points. P. Shorzy, man, you got it. What happened to Shorzy? He was like the most historic playoff performer of all time. He's still a 95 overall. Look at these playoff numbers throughout his career. 25 last season, 38, 32, 42, 29. Like, the dude always consistently showed up. But now, at 28 years of age, 5 goals, 7 points was just not good enough. Zane Powell had 7. Shane Wright had 6. Lev Shunov. Was Pekka Pasta the issue? Let's see. Pekka Pasta had an 880 save percentage. So that is probably the issue. 4 goals against per game. He absolutely shat the bed. Winnipeg would end up going the entire way, beating Carolina in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Unfortunately, UConn, they couldn't get one more in our dynasty era. Macklin Celebrini is going to win the Ted Lindsay, the Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. P. Shorzy, funny enough, won the Maurice Richard. The Norris will go to Zane Parek, the Conn Smythe, the Quinn Hughes. Pekka Pasta wins yet again another Vezina, and Toskala another Selke. Well, that is going to do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.